Hello, hello, hello. Gonna mute that. Hello, I have a person in this chat. Very cool. This is basically just an audio test. I got a new microphone today, but hopefully it sounds good. How are y'all? How is everyone's night going? The Kenobi show was indeed amazing. It is the greatest TV series that I've ever had the pleasure of viewing, and I'm glad you liked it. So, I just watched House of the Dragon episode 2, and I actually thought it was pretty good. I wonder what you guys think of it. I am also a big Spider-Man fan, so, I can't judge you too badly for that. I've never hated on any Disney Plus shows yet. I seem to have a hard time finishing them. That's fair. That new that new She-Hulk show, man, what an abysmal series. Only 2 episodes in out of I think 9, and it hasn't been good so far. So I have very little faith that it will continue being anywhere near the quality of, say, I don't know, Better Call Saul, the show that people keep comparing it to simply because they're both about lawyers, and that's about it. Yeah, I took inspiration from Mahler. I'm not even going to deny that. People are already calling me a Mahler clone because I made a 2-hour video. I really like his style of vid, and I'm glad that people are taking notice of it. Part 2 of Kenobi is probably not coming out till like November. Just letting you guys know. That one took a long time to make. Andor stabbed the dagger of darkness into my soul. Next video title. Oh. I'm not gonna watch Andor. I'm not watching any future Star Wars stuff. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. Kenobi was it for me. That shit pissed me off, and I'm not giving. Well, I was gonna say I'm not giving Disney another cent of my money, but to be completely honest, I was pirating it anyway. I'm just not giving it any of my time anymore. It doesn't deserve it. So yeah, I do unfortunately have to let you guys know that I will not be probably doing that many other Star Wars reviews, or if I do, it'll be about a thing that came out before Kenobi. Hate how the Star Wars fan base downplays Darth Vader. Sure, he lost a lot of potential in his duel with Obi-Wan, but he grew wiser and stronger in the Force due to his constant pain and anger. That is correct. That's how the dark side works, but I don't mind a Mahler clone in between his uploads. Oh, he uploaded that Multiverse of Madness video like the same day as me, and I was so mad because I was like, man, I want people to watch my video, but I wouldn't even be mad if they watched his instead because it's probably better. And it was. That's a good video. Oh, shit. As you can see, I'm still ironing out some kinks with this new microphone, such as keeping it on my table is a big thing. Hide that. It wasn't great in the way they have been talking about Andor. Seems like I would like to answer this question. I love horror movies, even the bad ones. I like almost every single Halloween movie, and I can't say a single one of them is good except maybe the first one. I just love them. They're so fucking cheesy, and there's gonna be a new one this October. Halloween Ends, so they say. I don't buy that for even a second, but yeah, Halloween Ends, the supposed finale until they reboot it again. After like this would be what, like the sixth time they've rebooted the Halloween franchise. I don't even know. I have long since stopped keeping track of the continuity of those films. Yeah, I don't know. I never said I wasn't doing a Mahler style video. Uh, I'm just gonna own up to it because there's no point in trying to deny it. Scream is my favorite horror movie franchise ever. No kidding. I love those movies and I love the TV show, barring season 3, which is a fucking nightmare, and I hate that one. Good shit. I fucking love Scream. I wanted to do a video about the Scream movies when Scream 5 came out earlier this year, but I didn't end up having time. I was working on that Dexter video, which nobody watched because nobody cares about Dexter, and I knew that was going to be what happened, but I wanted to talk about Dexter because I had just spent months binging the show for a second time, and I did not want that to go to waste. Can you tell I'm nervous? I've never done a live stream before, and I didn't really know how this was going to go. I have indeed. I think I've actually watched this video twice now, this Fringy's Endgame video. It's very good. It's very, very well spoken, well articulated, and I already had my fair share of problems with Endgame before I watched this video, but he enlightened me to so many of its flaws that I'd never even considered. And it's only made worse by Loki and all the other subsequent Phase 4 stuff that tries to kind of explain the multiverse and the time travel. It doesn't make any sense. Jesus. First time I watched Scream, I shit myself. You were 11. I want to say like 14, 13. Yeah, which might be the reason why I'm so attached to that franchise, when in reality, it's just a glorified Scooby-Doo franchise, right? It's just a murder mystery. And at the end, they get their masks taken off, and then they do a really cheesy, fun monologue about their motives, and it's always great. My favorite Ghostface. I don't know. To be honest, most of them have kind of sucked. I'm not gonna like Scream 2. What even was that? That was like they were like, yeah, it's Billy Loomis's mom and some guy she like met on the internet, played by Timothy Oliphant, who's one of the most forgettable characters, to the point where when he unmasked himself, I was like, who the fuck is that? I've never seen him before in my life. And then I had to rewatch like the majority of the movie, and I was like, oh, he is in earlier scenes of this. Oh no. But my favorite, I think, is probably Stu Macher. I really, really love Matthew Lillard's portrayal of just this unhinged psycho who thinks everything is a game. And I don't know. It's just something about, he's like the criminally unsung villain of Scream 1. Everyone talks about Billy. I don't know. Stu's better. Stu's cooler. Not cooler. I just like him better. Biggest issue with Endgame is how they downplay Thanos, because in the comics he's basically a god with or without the stones. So I've been told. I don't read the comics, but I've been told that he's severely depowered in the movies without the Infinity Stones. I mean, to be fair, he kicked the shit out of Hulk with just one Infinity Stone, so he ain't doing too bad. I mean, you know, I mean, I could do that, but I'm just built that way, you know. It's great because we don't know his motivation. Is that, we talking about Stu, or are we talking about Timothy Oliphant's character? Because Timothy Oliphant's character was just the most generic, like, I'm gonna blame it on the movies. It's gonna be like a commentary on society. Oh man. I like Stu. Stu. Okay, yeah. Stu's great. Just because he's fucking unhinged. He doesn't care. He's just doing it for fun. I love Stu. And I love Shaggy. And in a infinite multiverse, they are in fact the same person. No, I will not hear any comments at this time. I am very excited for Across the Spider-Verse. In fact, it was supposed to come out this year in October, I believe, and now it's been delayed all the way till June. So that's fucking great. But I will be patient because I cannot wait. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. I was going to do a ranking video like every Spider-Man movie. I guess the one reason I'm glad that the movie's been delayed is because like with how long it's taken me to do these Kenobi videos, there's no way I would be able to get a Spider-Man ranking video done by October 7th, I believe was the release date. So now I have more time at the very least. How's my audio sounding? That's the entire reason I even started this stream, really, was to make sure that that my microphone was of quality. I did a little bit of testing in my editing software, but I wanted to show it off to all of you lovely people. Audio is lit. Well, that is what I like to see. The MCU screwed over Mr. Fantastic and John Krasinski, since I doubt he'll come back as Mr. Fantastic, but as one. You know, yeah. He was sort of the fan cast, right? Like everyone wanted him as Mr. Fantastic, Emily Blunt as Sue Storm. I was on board with that. I mean, fuck yeah, I love John Krasinski. And I have my issues with A Quiet Place, but damn it, I love their characters and I love the actors in those movies. So I thought, they'd make a pretty good Reed and Sue. I'd like for him to come back in something that's not fucking Multiverse of Madness and like be well written. But I've also heard people trying to cast like fan casting Penn Badgley, who, if you don't know, plays Joe from the Netflix show You. Great show. Love that show. And I think he would make a great Mr. Fantastic. He's got just the right amount of like arrogant intelligence, I guess. He could be a good Reed Richards if they don't bring back John. And I honestly wouldn't blame them, because they would look at it as he's the failure and not the fact that the film itself is just really stupidly written. Have to rewatch the Sam Raimi. I'm going to be honest, and it has been several years, so I could be completely wrong, but I remember really liking the first two Fantastic Fours, the ones that came out in the early 2000s. I was a kid when I watched them, so of course I loved them. But like, I don't know, I want to rewatch them to try to more objectively judge them, I guess. Fant Four Stick was a disaster piece from start to finish. What a terrible, terrible film. But I'd really like to rewatch those early 2000s ones just to see what they're doing. I'm thinking of Galactus, the fucking cloud Galactus from those movies. I know that's not who you're thinking of. That's just what I'm thinking of, and it's fucking hilarious to me. Great review, part 1 of Kenobi. The Disney series is a far cry from what I read as a kid. Now it's been deemed legends, quote unquote. Just can't watch any more Star Wars. It reeks of mediocrity. That is indeed correct, Streets Disciple 001. I recently really got into the EU, like a year and a half ago at this point. I had read a lot of the books as a kid, but not nearly to the point where I have now. I only read the Kenobi novel, which is what everyone keeps comparing the show to, like maybe 6 or 7 months ago. I read that book. It's a really good book, although I will say I kind of don't like how people keep just comparing the two because they're honestly they have completely separate agendas, I guess would be the right word. As far as like, I mean, they're set in different years and at different points in Obi-Wan's exile. They have different, I guess, things that they're trying to do with his character. I mean, to play devil's advocate for a second, like the Kenobi series has such a fundamentally flawed premise, but I wouldn't want them to just do a carbon copy of the Kenobi book. It's a great book, but I don't want them to just completely poach it and put it into their timeline and act like they made it. Like, no, unless they got like John Jackson Miller or something to like write the show, then I wouldn't want them doing that. They did Galactus dirty. Yes, they did. Oh, my little cloud monster. Of course, now the MCU has the fucking cloud dragon thing. I think its name is Eliath from Loki. So, you know, they're good on cloud monsters. I don't think we need any more. What did you think about Nope? Personally, I thought it was too ambitious. I don't know if I'm pronouncing ambitious right. Never heard that word before. I have not seen Nope. I have heard so many mixed things. It was a thing that I saw the trailer for, and ironically enough, said nope. I just did not care, not one bit. So I just did not bring myself to watch it. But I might if I ever want to talk about it. I'm not going to make a video about it because it's already been out for months and I don't really care. But if anything, I just want to watch it to see if what Logan Paul said about it is even remotely true. I doubt it. He's one of the stupidest people I've ever seen, like ever. So kind of doubt he just has the best film opinions, but you know, I would just like to watch it simply to understand Logan Paul's points on it. Why is everything that Disney has been releasing so awful? I cannot think of anything recent from them that hasn't had a plethora of writing flaws. Yeah, and you know, people told me I was being too mean to like Bad Batch, but I don't know. Compared to like Book of Boba and Kenobi, Bad Batch is actually like serviceable, but it's not a good show by any means. Hey Logan, you should watch my live stream that I'm doing right now.
Your live stream?
On the Sheev Talks. We're shooting the shiz with Sheev. This is Logan Kelly. He just uploaded today a video about Kenobi, actually.
You're telling all 3 of your viewers how many are present?
Like 30.
Oh, wow.
Let me go ahead and link it in the chat for all of you beautiful, lovely individuals. Why did I just go to my channel?
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not thinking right now, okay? Jesus. Everyone say hi to Logan and leave him a sexually charged comment.
No.
Please.
Told him on the last one, please never again.
I mean, you got some of the funniest comments on that one, so here.
That is true.
Here you guys go. Everyone, go watch the Kenobi video that he put out. But after you watch this live stream, you can't leave. You can't leave. Logan, get out. No one likes you.
That's fair. Oh,
Yo, Sheev's got a podcast.
this actually is relevant.
Is it?
This is what I came in to show you. Come on.
Jason Isaacs is a live-action actor who gave his talents to Star Wars.
Oh my god. All right. Dexter or Walter White? You mean like who's the better written character, or who do I like more, or like I don't Walter White is obviously a much better character, like just written. I really love Dexter though a lot, and he has a great story arc. I mean, flaws and all, that show had like a terrible final 4 seasons. But I think Dexter was mostly handled pretty well, like the character himself, and then I liked New Blood a lot. So, but who do I like more overall? I fucking hate Walter White as a person, so Dexter easily. I'm just saying a lot since Dexter is literally a ruthless murderer who justifies his killings as heroic and noble, and I still like him as a person better than Walter White. This person, well, he corrected it now, but this person, I feel your pain. I've written Lenovo so many times the last few months when I meant to write Kenobi. To answer your question, Book of Boba Fett is worse. Like objectively, it is just a vastly worse written show. But Kenobi insulted me a lot more. Kenobi pissed me off more, so I'm going to have to give it to Kenobi.
Walter.
What the fuck is going on out there? Piece of shit neighbors. Kid named Finger. Or Boba Fett and Book of Boba Fett. Well, you see, here's the thing. I'd like to say Mike is better than Boba Fett in Book of Boba Fett, but you failed to realize the important aspect of the judgment here that simply cannot be ignored. And the main qualifier for who is a better written character is which one grew up surrounded by water. And I can't give that to Kid Named Finger because he's where's he from again? Like Philadelphia? I think that was, I don't know. This joke fell flat because I forgot where Mike was from. But yeah, he grew up surrounded by water. So cats or dogs? I don't know. I used to hate cats because my mom hates cats and she taught me to hate cats. But then I ended up owning 2 cats and I loved them both. So I don't know. I love both. Dogs are better, but I love cats. Ultimate question, have to answer. Well, I did, so I hope you enjoyed. Better keep their goddamn hands off Jango Fett. You know they won't. You know if there's a season 2 that we're going to be getting some history about Jango and it's going to ruin his character. But hey, I'm not going to fucking watch it, so y'all have to tell me about it. How do I sing the Saul Goodman song? It's all just an instrumental. Unless you want me to do the full version, and I can't because I don't know the lyrics to that. Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad? I said in my Better Call Saul video that that I like Better Call Saul more. I didn't say that it is an objectively better show. I just said, in my opinion, it's better. It's just of more of quality as far as I'm concerned. But of course, a lot of people disagreed with that in the comments, and that's fine. However, I do not care to judge them objectively against one another because they just mesh so well with one another. There's no reason to try to pit them against each other. I don't know which is objectively better written because I haven't sat down and taken the time to like judge it that way. I just like Better Call Saul more. Sheev, I've been seeing some Ninjago references. What's up with that? In what? Have I mentioned Ninjago in any of my videos? I've only seen Ninjago because of Logan. He got me to watch the show, and I don't particularly care for it, but it's not a bad show, I guess. I don't know. It is what it is. He loves it. I can't talk shit about it or he's gonna ream my ass, so I've actually been keeping up with the final season though of Ninjago Crystallized. Not bad, not bad. I'm not going to spoil it for any Ninjago fans out there who don't already know what's going on. It's pretty good though, not bad. It is I would say a good send off to I guess the entire story. That's coming from a novice of the franchise. You'd have to ask Logan. Sheev, I'm curious on your thoughts on the Dark Times era, the Empire using Clone Wars era stuff, basically Bad Batch, and old Dark Times comics and Darth Vader comics, and if we should see more of it. That's a lot of questions. Okay, Dark Times era. I only really care much about the Dark Times era because of the Dark Times comics. I really, really like those comics. It's in the name, but they are surprisingly dark. I've always been of the opinion that Star Wars can get really mature and really adult when they want to, but even still, like, those comics really surprised me. They deal with some graphic shit. That's all I'll say. I also like the Coruscant Nights books, and that falls into the Dark Times era. So, and Dark Lord: Rise of Darth Vader. It's a great book. James Luceno never misses. Darth Vader comics are also really good. I've yet to hate like an entire Vader comic series. There have been certain arcs and storylines that I don't like, but it's typically because they keep trying to like make the sequels better and retroactively, and they're fucking it up even more. Like the Vader comics are trying to tell us that Vader knew about Exegol and that he was like there and he saw the fleet of Star Destroyers and all that. And it's like, no, don't tell me that, because now I have to wonder why he didn't say anything to Luke in the 30 fucking years that he was a Force ghost and could have come to him at any point and said, hey, Exegol exists, Palpatine's alive, and that he has a fucking fleet of Star Destroyers with Death Star cannons. I think they wrote that comic because they wanted to show that like Palpatine was working on this well before the OT, just to sort of give validity to it. Because, you know, one of the questions that coming out of the Rise of Skywalker was like, how did Palpatine build all of that in secret after he was dead? But it's like, oh, actually, he did it while the Empire was still a thing and he was the Emperor. But it's like, if you're going to do that, please don't tell me that Vader discovered Exegol. That fucks with so much. I'm skipping so many comments. I apologize. Have you heard about the comic about Jar Jar's dad? Yes. George R. Binks. Was that meant to be canon to the EU? Because I've heard mixed things. I've been told different things by different EU fans, so I don't know. It's a fun comic. I think it's hilarious. It's sad as shit, but it's hilarious, if that makes any sense. Just wanted to thank you for your content. I really enjoy it. Keep it up. Thank you, Klaus. Love you. I love you very much, Klaus. Let's see. Sorry. Susser Gus. My name is Gustavo Fring, but you can call me Sus. Baka. Is that the one where he tries to unalive himself? What are we talking about? Did I miss something? Well, the next Star Wars faction is going to be named the Second Order. Thank you very much. Oops. Have you seen the Titans? It's ass. I want to see you get pissed about it. The edgy one, the live action one. I haven't seen that, but I also don't care about the Titans, the Teen Titans, or whatever the fuck they're called. Never liked the animated show. Just gonna put that out there. I never cared about it. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not the guy to get pissed about it. You know, go watch the fucking High Tops Films video if you want to see someone get pissed about Titans. That ain't my thing. Have you heard about the new Supernatural show Jensen is making? I sure have. The Winchesters, it's going to be called, and it's going to be about, I guess, about John and Mary during the 70s, how they met, which is so weird because I have to hope, because Jensen knows his shit. I have to hope they know about, in the beginning, the season 4 episode where Jensen plays Dean, so he should know about this. But I mean, I don't know. That was 15 fucking years ago, so maybe he's forgotten. The episode where Dean goes back in time and like you find out that this is where they found out that Mary was a hunter, but like they didn't know that, and John never knew that, and he wasn't a hunter at the time. He didn't become a hunter until after she died. So I'm very cautious about this show. I don't think it's going to be good, and I think it's going to fuck with a lot of the canon, but we will see, won't we? And I'll probably make a video about it because it's probably going to be bad. I've seen the trailers. It looks really bad. How do I feel about the Flash ending? Oh, you know me. People have been saying that I should be mad because I have nothing to milk anymore, but like, I don't know. I want this show to end. It sucks. It's terrible. I'm happy that it's going off. It's, it's like a bittersweet moment, I guess, because it's like, oh, this is something I've been following for so many years. But like, as far as I'm concerned, the Flash died like what, 5-6 years ago. I don't care anymore. Just end it. Let it go out with a sizzle, because it ain't going out with a bang. I think it's gonna be about. I think it's gonna retcon the parents' backstory. Yeah, that's what I'm looking. That's what I'm thinking. Let's see. Thoughts on Transformers? I don't watch any of it. I don't. I've seen a couple of the Michael Bay films, but as you probably would surmise, that was not a great first impression for me, and it did not pull me into the franchise. So I have no real opinion on Transformers. I think they're a bunch of big, ugly action movies that are just terribly shot and chock full of explosions. The shit that people peddle about Star Wars and Marvel shows until they actually watch those. And I'm talking about the good Star Wars and the good Marvel, by the way. I'm not talking about the bullshit that's coming out now. There was a question I wanted. Here it is. No, not that. Do you think Grant Gustin is a good Flash? I do, actually. Or at least he was. He hasn't given a shit in about 6 years, but when he actually is acting, he's a great Flash. And considering everything that's going on with Ezra Miller, I would be completely fine with them casting Grant in his place, in their place, whatever. Darth Jar Jar should have been the main villain for the sequel trilogy. I feel like that would have been really stupid, but it still probably would have been better than what we got. So, do you like Star Wars Rebels? I love Star Wars Rebels. You have no idea how much I fucking love that show. It is obviously not nearly as well liked as Clone Wars, and I agree that Clone Wars is better, but like, what a tremendous show. Great characters. Kanan and Ezra are like some of my favorite Jedi. Good shit. I love it. I love it. It sucks because I'm not going to be watching the Ahsoka show, which is probably going to be continuing a lot of the threads from that series, but probably for the best because I imagine that show's going to fuck it up, so who cares? Thoughts on fan films? Depends on the fan film. The infamous Star Wars theory Vader fan film that everyone, creams about, honestly kind of overrated. I watched it when it came out and I haven't rewatched it since because it wasn't all that great. And he never ended up doing the follow-ups that he had promised, and I remember donating to that, so I want my money back theory. I ever watched Green Arrow? I have seen... Well, I can't say I've seen every Arrowverse show because at this point they've released shit that I hadn't even heard of. But for a good while there, I had seen or at least given a fair shake to every Arrowverse show. I mean, I watched 2 whole episodes of Batwoman before giving up on that bullshit. I think I watched 5 episodes of Supergirl before giving up on that one. Legends of Tomorrow, I watched 4 whole seasons of, and I fucking stopped watching that. But Arrow... and I guess now The Flash, when that goes off, will be the only Arrowverse show that I watched all the way through. I actually quite like Arrow a lot. I mean, it's a dumb CW show, just like the rest of them. It's got a lot of bad writing, but overall, I don't know. It was pretty good. It was neat. Of course, I'm going to make a video on Flash Season 9. I'm a sellout. I'm a hack. Of course, I'm going to make a video about that. Like Star Wars more or MCU? I mean, they're both shit now, but I personally have always been way more attached to Star Wars than the MCU. No. I actually only recently got into the MCU, like when Infinity War came out. Watched that movie like 3 times in theaters because I really liked it, and then it got me to go and binge the entire MCU and rewatch the movies I had seen because I just thought Infinity War was really good. So I came into the MCU pretty late, to be honest. And unfortunately, I came into the MCU right when it started sucking. So, well, it is what it is. I do like Dave Filoni. I literally said in my Dave Filoni video that he's like one of my personal heroes. He made my favorite Star Wars show and my second favorite Star Wars show, which is Rebels. So of course I like Dave Filoni. I just don't like what he does to the books and the comics. He just completely disregards them, and I think that Filoni cultists who want to defend him for doing that, the Filoni fans are the ones that I really hate. They make me hate Filoni more than I would otherwise because you know, I called him out on his bullshit. I wish he would stop doing it, and he's probably not going to, but like, doesn't mean I hate the guy. Hate Filoni cultists though. Thoughts on the Daredevil and Punisher shows? Still haven't seen Punisher. It's on the list. Love Daredevil. Love Daredevil, and I'm super worried for the future of that series, of course. But favorite movie of all time? Now, that's obviously a tough question to answer, but Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is my favorite movie of all time. It's like a 10 out of 10 movie for me. There's not much that can top that for me. I really like Into the Spider-Verse. I've seen that movie probably like 30 times at this point. Came out, what now, 4 years ago almost. I've had plenty of times to rewatch it, and I have. It's a very good movie. It's funny to me because I love Peter Parker, and you know, say what you will about the Amazing Spider-Man, but like, I love Peter Parker in those movies too. There's never been an adaptation of Peter Parker, the character himself, that I don't like. So the fact that the Spider-Man film that I love the most isn't even really about Peter Parker is just really funny to me. Yeah. Potential Ninjago video. I really, really do hate to burst your bubble, but I'm never gonna fucking make a Ninjago video. I'm so sorry. Logan's planning to, though. Guys, go watch Logan Kelly. He's got a great channel. Sheev Whispers. Favorite show of all time? Better Call Saul, hands down. But I suppose some honorable mentions. Of course, Breaking Bad. Daredevil. Arcane. Probably Supernatural, but definitely not for the writing quality. And the Clone Wars and Community's pretty good. I only just recently watched Community, but it quickly became one of my favorites. Yes, Spider-Verse is the best movie of all time, or at least it's my favorite. I don't know about the best. There's a lot of movies that, like, you know, the pretentious film bros or whatever will tell you are the best that I just haven't seen, so I can't say one way or another. Like Drive or like Prestige, The Godfather. Believe it or not, I haven't seen The Godfather. It's on the list. There's just a lot of shit that I haven't seen. I only recently watched Fellowship of the Ring all the way through for the first time. Oh, as you can tell, I'm not a big Lord of the Rings guy. Should I cover more? Oh, where'd it go? Shit. Oh, whatever. Oh, here it is. Look at me, I'm a fucking boomer. I really live up to the Palpatine name, don't I? You should cover more canon contradictions. I don't know if I really need to. I mean, I feel like I kind of made my point in the Dave Filoni video. You know what's funny is that while I was making the Dave Filoni video is when the Yoda's lightsaber controversy happened. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, basically in Book of Boba Fett, Luke offered to give Yoda's lightsaber to Grogu, which racist. And and of course, Yoda's lightsaber was destroyed in one of the Vader comics by Masameda, like immediately after Episode 3. The reason I didn't mention it was because I didn't realize Dave Filoni had written that episode. Apparently, he did. So that's yet another knock against Dave, good old Davey boy, for once again contradicting canon. No surprise there. But yeah, I could have mentioned it. If I'd realized that was Dave, I would have. But they've since retconned it, of course. One of the it was only a few weeks later, in fact, that the newest issue of Crimson Reign had come out, and it depicted that exact same part where Masameda burned Yoda's lightsaber, and it said one of Yoda's lightsabers was destroyed there, and it's like, oh, one of. So Yoda had two. What happened? So did he have both of them on his person when he was fighting Palpatine? Because he might could have kept the fight going even though he lost his lightsaber, right? I guess he just had two. I guess he fucking recovered it at some point. I don't know. Maybe Luke recovered it. Maybe it was kept. I don't understand. If like Yoda had a second lightsaber that was being kept in the Jedi Temple or something, you'd think Palpatine might have just gone ahead and destroyed that one too, right? I've never seen Banshee. Daredevil's great. Game of Thrones and Dexter both fall into this category of really, really good first halves. The first 4 seasons of those shows, and then the last 4 are terrible. And Dexter's not nearly as extreme in either direction. Like the highest highs of Game of Thrones easily better than the highest highs of Daredevil, but also the lowest lows of not Daredevil, sorry, Dexter. But the lowest lows of Game of Thrones are way, way more subatomic than anything Dexter did. So it's kind of funny. Which is why I'd probably overall rate them about the same, probably about 4 or 5 out of 10. And The Boys is really good. I've yet to be disappointed by a season. Favorite Jedi? I mean, Obi-Wan, of course, but some honorable mentions because that's a basic answer. Kanan, love him. Quinlan Vos from the EU, from the Republic comics specifically, love him. Jax Pavan, however you pronounce his name, from the Coruscant Nights books, excuse me. Good guy, good dude. Love him a lot. Mr. Sulkface Garcia, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. The Yuzan Vong should have been the main enemy in the Star Wars sequels. I don't know. See, in a perfect world, sure, but and this is the same thing with the Give Us Legends movement in general, because everyone wants the EU to have more stories produced, and I'm all for that, of course, but helmed by the people running this this company now, I wouldn't trust the EU, I wouldn't trust the Yuzan Vong in the hands of these people. I just wouldn't. They would, take their own creative liberties. It would suck, and then everyone would be mad, and then nobody wins. I don't want them to continue the EU and start printing more books and comics and games unless we get the original writers for those books back. And it's helmed by someone like Leland Shee or some, Sue Rustoni who know their shit. And if they're not going to do that, then just don't bother. Please do not bother. I am going to make an effort to stream more. I've been wanting to for a while, and last night I just happened to get on a stream with the Star Wars EU teen, who you should check out if you haven't seen. He, does a lot of lives and talks about the EU, and I had a lot of fun with it. I got to meet Matt Wilkins, who, if you don't know, is a EU content creator in the YouTube sphere. He's a personal hero of mine as well. A lot of respect for Matt Wilkins, and the fact that I got to meet him last night was really cool. And since I've already been wanting to do this for a while, I just figured I should start doing it more. Just talking about whatever's happening, answering questions. I want to do this more, and I will. You heard the Tales of the Jedi leaks? Supposedly they will retcon about 5 different books. From what I've heard, Ahsoka's definitely getting fucked. That sounded wrong. The Ahsoka novel is definitely going to be contradicted. I'm just kind of assuming, since so many episodes are going to be about Jedi Master Dooku and Qui-Gon as his Padawan, Dooku Jedi Lost is getting fucked. There's no way. Other than that, I don't know what else they really even can contradict, but I'm sure, I am positive they'll find a way. They always do. Also wanted to answer this one. Thoughts on the Harry Potter films? I like Harry Potter. Love the books, love the movies. I will stand by that. I think that the Deathly Hallows films are pretty bad. They just split them into 2 parts for no reason at all. I understand the book is big and long, but I don't know. So is Half-Blood Prince, and they managed to condense that to one pretty nice movie. So I just try to forget season 6 to 8 of Game of Thrones and wait for the books to finish, which is never going to happen. Yeah. I actually didn't get into Game of Thrones until after it went off. So in a year after it went off, at least. So it would have been around 2020, during the pandemic. And after I finished it, I was like, so are the books done? Are they finished yet? And then I found out that that it had been years since the last one was released. And even then, we still had some years to wait, and we're still waiting. So that's great. He's probably going to die before he finishes those books, and that's fine. As to try to forget about season 6 to 8, I don't know. I do that too. I recently rewatched that was his religious experience. I recently rewatched season 3 of Game of Thrones, and I was like, I forgot how great this show used to be. So yeah, I've always been like that, where I can kind of just ignore the later stuff. Like I can watch the original trilogy without thinking about the sequels and what they do with all these characters and all this shit. I don't ever think about the sequels when I'm watching, Empire Strikes Back, and I'm watching Luke discover his new powers and training on Dagobah, Han and Leia getting together, and I'm like, yeah, they get together. And they absolutely do not leave each other after Ben turns to the dark side and go back, revert back to their original character arc, or caricatures before the fucking movies even begin. Of course they don't do that, because that would have been stupid, and obviously isn't what happened. I'm very good at ignoring the parts of the shit that I don't like. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to make videos shitting all over them, because they deserve it. And to that point, I don't consider Kenobi canon. It literally can't be. It contradicts too much of the original trilogy. So it's either the OT or Kenobi that's got to go. And obviously, I'm not fucking disavowing the OT as canon. So really leaves us with no other option. Do you remember how fun the early canon days were? Every piece of media felt like it mattered. The games were massive. The theories were crazy. Dude, yes, I do remember the hype, especially after Force Awakens, when everyone was really getting into it. When Star Wars felt like it was really thriving and it was alive again. That was a good time. I miss those times. Anyway, feel like I'm trying to talk too fast. I'm going to start breathing a little bit more. This is what you guys are tuning in for, right? Just me breathing. Disney would make the Yuzhan Vong misunderstood. Yeah, they would make their religion like real and give some validity to their claims that like the galaxy's citizens are infidels. So they would do something like that. The Force is a lie. It's just Yuzhan Yaman Ka or whatever the fucking names are for these gods. Thoughts on Fallen Order? Probably going to be an unpopular opinion, but I found it to be shockingly generic. Watch. It's not a bad game at all. I mean, it's just not really a fun game, I don't think. The campaign was too short and didn't really do anything with its characters. It's not that good. Sorry. Yeah. Trying to get into the old Star Wars EU. Which books would you recommend? Oh my god, so many. And I always say this, it depends on the era you're really interested in, but I know me personally, I really love the Clone Wars era. And don't be discouraged by the fact that it's so heavily contradicted by the Clone Wars show, because just don't even worry about that. There are a lot of great Clone Wars era books, a lot of great Dark Times era books. Just prequel era in general, like really, really does a good job with the world building. Specific books I can think of that are great. The Republic Commando series, Labyrinth of Evil, Revenge of the Sith novel, of course, which goes hand in hand with Labyrinth of Evil, and Rise of Darth Vader. It's like a little trilogy. Shatterpoint by Matthew Stover is one of the best books I've ever read. It's about Mace Windu. He goes to Harun Kal, which is his home planet, and has to like basically deal with these guerrilla fighters who are fighting against the separatists. It's just really good stuff. Absolutely read that. Yoda Dark Rendezvous. It's a good Clone Wars book. Some standouts, I suppose. The Darth Bane trilogy, one of my favorites. It's very good stuff. You really get to get into the mind of Darth Bane, see how he established the rule of two and why, and like what his goals were, why he was the one Sith left standing after the Brotherhood of Darkness was wiped out. It's just really good stuff. Hey, if you DM me after this, I can give you a better list, but I'm not going to talk about this for that much longer. Everyone using some headcanon to get around the inconsistencies of the EU stuff anyway. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I wish he didn't have to do this. For the most part, the EU really did fit together pretty well until Clone Wars came along. But and I say for the most part, because yes, there were contradictions, and I don't deny that. I've never denied that. Don't put words in my mouth, but it was mostly fine. I don't know. Me personally, just consider anything that doesn't directly like, I guess, well, what am I trying to say? The Clone Wars series and any supplementary material written around it, like, the Gambit duology, which is just one of the worst book duologies I've ever fucking read. Don't even bother with those. Anything like that, I don't consider canon to the EU. Even some of them are good stories. Like I like Wild Space by is that Karen Travis? I think it might have been Karen Travis. That's a great book. It's part of the Clone Wars supplementary material. I don't consider it canon to the EU, but still a good book. Let's see. I have not seen Spectacular Spider-Man, so I can't really give you an answer on that. I've been told good things, and I've been told bad things. There's a YouTuber and a person I follow on Twitter. He goes by SK. You know, good guy, good dude. A lot of great opinions. A lot of opinions I don't agree with. He has he's been pretty staunch about his disdain for that show, and he's made a lot of good points. I don't have context for them though, so I can't really say one way or another about his points, but from the evidence he has shown and the references he's given, I'm like, yeah, I can't really disagree with that. His main criticism seems to be that Spider-Man actively like endangers citizens for the sake of like being funny, which is one of the biggest things I hate about the Amazing Spider-Man films. So, does he think Spider-Verse is bad? I thought he said Spider-Verse is good. That I thought, if anything, that was like one of the only Spider-Man movies he even likes. So, thoughts on Lord of the Rings? Yeah, sorry, dude. Thank you for the super chat, Megatron, leader of this of the Decepticons. But I've only seen Fellowship. Very good movie, very good, and I'm going to watch the rest of them. But yeah, I don't know. I can't really give any great insight on those films yet because I haven't seen them. Sorry. What is the worst MCU movie? Before Phase 4 came out, I would have probably given that to The Dark World or maybe Captain Marvel, but Thor Love and Thunder drained my soul. Any investment that I might still have had in the MCU after what Phase 4 has done went out the window with that film. It pissed me off. I didn't think they could do worse than Endgame Thor. Endgame Thor was aggravating. He was a really aggravatingly written character, but they managed to do it worse. That movie has severely disappointed me, and it's probably going to be a my least favorite going forward. I mean, I'm such a casual MCU fan now, especially because of how it's been. There's stuff that I'm just completely skipping or don't plan to watch. The only things going forward that I'm certainly going to see are Daredevil Born Again, just to, fingers crossed, hope it's good, and Guardians 3, which I can't say I have faith in, even though it's James Gunn and he's pretty much never let me down before. But yeah, Guardians 3 might be the only thing I have any hope for. Yeah, I thought so. I thought SK liked Spider-Verse. Endgame Thor. The thing is, the moment that he killed Thanos at the beginning, and he had that really bitter line about going for the head, I dug the shit out of that. But my audience laughed at that. And I don't think that was meant. I mean, maybe it was meant to be funny. It was, meant to be the funny meme reference because he should have gone for the head. But I don't know. I thought that was a really great moment, and then it was undercut by everyone in the theater just erupting in laughter. That was one of the only good moments, I think, for Thor in that entire movie, and the rest of the time he was treated like a fucking joke. Of the main Avengers, he has easily been the most assassinated. Black Widow was assassinated in her own movie, which sucks because she went out with a bang in Endgame, and then they had to fucking retroactively make her worse with her movie. Hawkeye is a nothing character still. The Hawkeye show did nothing to change that for me. Bruce has been basically a nothing character, and now in She-Hulk, he's being disrespected, but like not nearly to the same degree as Thor. And, Tony and Cap both had great character arcs, and both, I mean, Cap had a pretty lackluster ending in Endgame. I didn't like his ending, but I mean, for the most part, he was handled pretty well. But man, what they're doing to Thor is pissing me the fuck off. Where can I watch the stream with you and the EU guys? So look up Star Wars. Well, actually, you know what? His handle's kind of hard to pronounce, and he needs to work on that. The Star Wars EU team. But just go to my Twitter. I tweeted about it and I linked it. Just go watch. Just go there. You know, my handle is Sheev Talks. I also link it under every one of my videos. So, super chat. Did I miss a super chat? I don't want to miss a super chat. Oh, here it is. Okay. Sorry about that. Thank you for the super chat. I really, really appreciate it. I think the Force Unleashed books are better than the games, since Vader is shown to be stronger in the games as well as Palpatine. Now, I haven't read the books. I don't have an opinion. I actually, as far as the story is concerned, really don't like the Force Unleashed, just from what I've seen in the games. Interestingly enough, one of the main criticisms I have for Kenobi, I have for the Force Unleashed as well, which is that before the events of A New Hope, the Organas are known Jedi sympathizers, or not Jedi sympathizers in that game, but they were like captured during the formation of the rebellion. So like they're known to be the like founders of the rebellion basically, and they're still like haven't been arrested and killed. So that's a little weird. And you know, I got to be fair, if I have that complaint with Kenobi, I have it with Force Unleashed as well. And Force Unleashed too. It's a shitty game, terrible story, terrible gameplay. You know, it was something that as a kid I really loved, and you know, as I've gotten older and I've and I guess I've to quote Just Right, as I've evolved as a critic, I don't know, just don't like those games anymore. It doesn't help that I play them on Wii, which is just the infamously worst game system to like play that on, but I don't know. I've seen gameplays for it on like better systems and still has that kind of bullshit in it. So I don't know. Yeah, sorry for almost missing your super chat though. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to try to keep up with these comments a little more. What microphone am I currently using? Fuck, what's it called? I forget. Let me see. So I have the order saved on Amazon because I just bought this. It is an Audio Technica 2020. And I got it actually because of Mahler. I looked up because I've been pretty unhappy with my mic quality in the past, and I was like, Mahler's got really good mic quality. I should see what mic he has and just get that. And this is what I was told he has. So maybe that's true, maybe it's not, but I like to think that I have better mic quality now. So is Palpatine's return in Legends handled better than Rise of Skywalker? Yeah, of course. I don't like Dark Empire at all, but yeah. Like just straight up, yeah. There's really no getting around that. It's at least explained, which is more than can fucking be said about Rise of Skywalker. Thoughts on the High Republic? I can't be the only one who likes it. Everyone calls me a sociopath. I don't know why they'd call you a sociopath for liking a book series. I happen to love the High Republic, believe it or not. Great books, great characters. Love the comics. Love the concepts it introduced, like the Drain Gear, the hyperspace. No, there's my lisp going. The hyperspace paths. Good shit. I love it. Fallen Star was kind of a disappointment, but it without getting into spoilers, I really like the way they handled the end to a certain character who died in that book right at the end. And anyone who's read it will know who I'm talking about because they were one of my favorite characters going in. So when they died, I was pretty sad about it, but they had a pretty good ending. Very heroic sacrifice. Geode's the best character. Hands down. People really, really made a big deal about Geode. I mean, I don't know. I'm someone who's of the opinion that there are very few concepts to be introduced in Star Wars that are stupid. You know, you can do pretty much anything in Star Wars and I'll dig it. As long as, you know, you don't fuck with the characters and shit. That's obviously where I draw the line. You know, don't contradict the canon. Don't take previously established characters and portray them in a way that you just know that they wouldn't, you know, be. That's pretty much it. I have people think my standards are so high. I have very low standards. I have such low standards. And the problem is that those standards aren't even being met, and that's a real fucking problem. Like, straight up. If the standards that I have aren't even being met, then I don't know how anyone is satisfied with this bullshit. I really don't. Best Star Wars Disney Plus. I mean, Clone Wars Season 7. I don't know. Season 7 was overall bogged down by the Martez sisters arc, but like the Siege of Mandalore is one of the best pieces of storytelling in all of Star Wars, as far as I'm concerned. So it doesn't have any competition. I mean, what does it have to compete with? It's got Bad Batch, Visions, Book of Boba. I mean, Mandalorian. I know a lot of people like Mandalorian, and I it's fine. It's all right. You know, it's not great. It's not good. It's all right. It is a show that exists. That's all I'm really gonna say about it. Least favorite comic series. I don't know if you're talking about in general or Star Wars, but I only really read Star Wars comics anyway, so I don't know. There really aren't any, well, besides Dark Empire. I've already said I despise Dark Empire. So, you know, I guess there's your answer. I'm currently still trucking through the New Jedi Order series, so I have not gotten to Legacy of the Force. I've not gotten to Fate of the Jedi. I've heard great things, of course, but I don't have I don't have an opinion on those yet. Apart from High Republic, I feel like most of the other comics really bland and small scale right now. Even Crimson Reign. Excuse me. I want to disagree with that, but I mean, to be fair, I don't think I've picked up a new canon comic in a few months at this point. You know, Kenobi really drained a lot of my my optimism for even the new canon books and stuff that I've been enjoying. So, you know, maybe they've fallen off. I don't know. And of course, Arson Man commented Star Wars, which was a very insightful comment. I realize now that he was giving more context to this one, but I was trying to be funny there, so my bad. My buddy Blaine is watching this, by the way. Hi, Blaine. How are you? If you're here, please comment. Say hi. What post Return of the Jedi books have I read? I've read a lot. Like I already said, New Jedi Order, I've been reading that. I've read Courtship of Princess Leia. It's a pretty good book. And it's one that is currently being brought to the forefront again because of the new Han and Leia book that's coming out. So there's that. I've read Tatooine Ghost, which is a severely underrated book about that Han and Leia go to Tatooine. They meet a bunch of Anakin's childhood friends, and like basically this is how Leia comes to terms with who Anakin was, the fact that he was actually a good person before he became Vader. You know, yeah, Blaine is in fact a sexual Tyrannosaurus, and I'm glad that you are pointing this out. Blaine, this you. I will be right back. I'm extremely dry mouthed right now, and I need some water. Oh. I'm back and with a vengeance. Let's see. What have I missed? Where the Breaking Bad universe could go? I don't necessarily want them to do anything else, go out with a bang. They have 11 seasons and a movie under their belt, and it's all great. So just don't do any more. And if that if that Slip and Jimmy show is any indicator of like future quality, I'd rather they just go ahead and stop. But if ever they were going to do another story about Breaking Bad, I guess I could see myself enjoying something, another Jesse Pinkman story. I guess after the events of El Camino, I wouldn't hate that. I just don't see that it's all that necessary. So I would watch the shit out of it, of course, but I don't know. That was the perfect end to his character, so I don't want them to do any more with him or anyone else, really. Excuse me. How do you feel about Luck's arc in the original trilogy to TLJ? Hate it. I hate Luke and his entire character work in Last Jedi is one of the most offensive, downright terrible decisions that Rian Johnson made in that film. And people that's the thing. You bring up the part where he fucking tries to murder his nephew in his sleep, and the defense is always like, "Oh, it was just a brief moment. In the heat of the moment, he realized what he was doing," and it's like, but he got to the point where he pulled the lightsaber out and turned it on. Like this, that's more than just a fleeting thought. It's like a fleeting thought that I don't even believe he would have anyway. But even if he did, you don't get to the point where you fucking pull out your weapon and turn it on. It's more like and here's a great saying that I've heard over the years that I really do subscribe to is the first thought that enters your head is like how you were conditioned to think, and the second thought you have in response to that defines who you are as a person. So like if I was like, man, that guy I just bumped into on the street was a dick, I want to kill him. That's a pretty extreme example, but and I don't have thoughts like that, I promise. But like that would be, I guess, the way I was conditioned to think, which is how the fuck was I raised? But then like my immediate response to that would be like the definition of who I am. So like if I thought, yeah, that would be a good idea, and I start planning this guy's murder, then yeah. But if I was like, dude, what the fuck? That's terrible. Why would I ever think that? That's good. That's, Luke might have had the thought of like, oh wow, I could kill him right now and that would end all of this. But then the immediate thought after that, before the lightsaber ever comes off the hilt, would be yeah, that's obviously not an option. So let's come up with other plans before I turn on my fucking lightsaber and wake him up. What a terrible, terrible movie. Every time I think about it, it gives me migraines. Every time. Yeah, he was. Let's see. Do you think the current state of canon can be recovered if a new story group is put in with some real power? I think as long as you just kind of avoid the sequels entirely, yeah, maybe. There's stuff left to work with, you know, if they got on it right now, but I don't know. I don't really see how they could. I think it's possible. I just don't know if I'm necessarily, you know, like if you said, "Hey, Sheev, come fix Star Wars," I would give it my best. I really would. But there's only so much that I can do. Uh, I would try. I really would. I promise I would try. Ryan Johnson is supposedly going to revisit The Last Jedi in an upcoming interview. Do you think he'll address the criticisms, and how do you think he'll respond if so? Now I heard about that. I think it was a Thor Skywalker video that came out today that talked about it. I doubt he's going to even acknowledge The Last Jedi all that much. Like he'll mention it briefly, but despite the fact that that's basically the film that took off his career, like actually made him known to the main populace and not just the cinephiles. He's not even gonna credit it as the film that basically made him. As for addressing the criticisms, he already has before. He's been in interviews where people say, like, "Hey, do you maybe, like, in retrospect, think that there are any criticisms of your film that are fair?" And he just said, "No. No, my movie's perfect." So, you know, that's that. Do I still like Phineas and Ferb? I don't know why this is such a pressing question that you keep asking it, but yes, I love Phineas and Ferb. Have I ever even made a video about Phineas and Ferb? I don't remember if I have. Um, yeah, I did. I made a video about what year it takes place in. That's right. It was a I don't remember anything about that video. I think I concluded that it takes place in 2010, although from what I've been told, Milo Murphy's Law fucks with that. So I don't know. Who cares? Some novels like Ahsoka would have to be struck out of canon completely, but I think it could be done with a lot of. I don't know if we even necessarily need to do that. Maybe. You know, because the EU, like, you know, everyone likes to say, "Oh, the EU had all sorts of contradictions." Sure, but like they really, you know, we had a team of writers who are really good at fitting it together in ways that they could and retconning it to where it all fits together and it all works pretty well. And I think you could do that with the Ahsoka novel. It's really only the interludes, right, that like talk about what happens during the Siege of Mandalore that are contradicted. So you could figure out some way to retcon that, probably. Maybe. I don't know. One of the last Star Wars channels that doesn't shill for Disney, unlike Eckhart's Ladder. Talking about me? Because yeah, I don't shill for Disney, but I don't know if I necessarily even consider myself a Star Wars channel. But also, there are a lot of Star Wars channels out there who are pretty against Disney. I mean, I mentioned Thor Skywalker just a moment ago, and I'm not saying he's like hates Disney or whatever, but he has a lot of hatred, or not hatred, I guess. He doesn't like the sequels very much. I will say that, and I agree. So I haven't watched Thor Skywalker in a while, so I don't know. Maybe he fell off. Yeah, I like Clone Wars. I still can't believe Eckhart defended. Did he defend Boba? Really? That sucks. He's a great channel. I like him a lot. But yeah. I need to know, Sheev, no matter how much it fucks canon, would an ex-Temple Guard character be good? I mean, that's just the Grand Inquisitor, isn't it? I don't see why that would really fuck with canon. You know, you could do that. Are you just saying like a Temple Guard who like at some point during like the Republic era, like became disillusioned with the Jedi and left the Order? Because I mean, again, I don't know how that really fucks with canon. Why do you think that would fuck with canon? I think that would be fine. I would like further elaboration on this. Is all I'm saying. But yeah, I think that'd be fine. Yeah, it's just the Grand Inquisitor, not the motherfucker from Kenobi, but the real Grand Inquisitor. Temple Guard that deserted. Again, I mean, you're really just describing the Grand Inquisitor, basically. But I guess if you're talking like pre-Order 66, yeah, I don't see why that would fuck with canon. Have you ever read the Canon Aftermath book trilogy? I watched an in-depth review of it, and my God, it sounds like a mess. I've read the first book, and that was enough for me. Chuck Wendig, man, like what a joke! What a joke of an author! The fact that he thinks that Tolkien is a bad writer because he personally couldn't follow the Hobbit. Like really? You're too dumb to understand, to the fucking Lord of the Rings lore, and that you're going to take that out on Tolkien as if you've written anything better. I haven't just sat down and read everything Chuck Wendig has done, but like if Aftermath was any indicator, then no, I will take Tolkien over him any day of the fucking week. You think Moff Gideon ends up working for Palpatine or for Thrawn? I thought he already worked. Does he not already work for Thrawn? I feel like that was kind of implied with what's going on in Mandalorian. I get the sense we're getting basically a Thrawn trilogy canon version where, because it's set in the same year, Thrawn's gonna be the villain of the Ahsoka show. Luke's hanging around somewhere. Maybe he'll meet Mara Jade. Oh, I know a lot of people who would love that. I get the sense that Thrawn is basically like the de facto emperor at this point, like he was in those books, because like there was nobody else to lead the Empire. And in that sense, I imagine that Gideon already works for him. Working for Palpatine, however, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what Imperials know that he's alive, if any. I don't fucking know. You're asking the wrong guy. I'm not even gonna watch the future stuff anyway. So, that's like I could try to predict all day, but the storytelling in these shows, I need you to understand, is so astronomically stupid that in order to even try to accurately predict what's going to happen, you have to turn your brain off. You have to basically use like anti-intellect. Tarkin should have more screen time. I guess. SK is the most unpredictable dude ever. Man doesn't like Homecoming. Yeah, I know. Again, he's a good dude. He seems to be like a good dude. And there are a lot of opinions he has that I like, but he is very, very harsh on the Tom Holland trilogy. I get that for Far From Home and definitely No Way Home to some degree, because there's a lot of pretty shitty writing in No Way Home. I love that movie to death, but there's some pretty bad writing in that movie. But Homecoming, I watched his Homecoming video, and there was a lot of shit in there that just wasn't true. Or that he was kind of stretching to the nth degree to try to make it seem like it was dumber than it really is, I guess. I don't know. Favorite superhero? Spider-Man. Absolutely. Like without question. I grew up on the Raimi trilogy, and I haven't watched that many of the cartoons. I know I've watched the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoons with Drake Bell. Love Tom Holland's movies. I love all three of those. Love Into the Spider-Verse. Like I said earlier in the stream, it's like it's like my favorite movie of all time. Love Spider-Man. But yeah, that's my answer. I know I keep giving basic answers too, because it's like, yeah, I mean, Spider-Man. I don't know. I guess the runner-up would probably be like Daredevil. I really, really like Daredevil. I didn't give a shit about Daredevil before I watched the show earlier this year, but like, yeah, great show, great character. I love Daredevil. And yes, I like Batman. He just hasn't really had that many good portrayals in media. Like outside of the Dark Knight trilogy, there's nothing that I've seen. And I will admit, I haven't watched a lot of Batman movies. So, there's probably some out there that are really great and I just haven't seen them. But there's nothing that I've seen outside of the Dark Knight trilogy that's been good. I'm specifically talking. Oh yeah, and the Batman came out this year. It was really good. I'm obviously just basically harping on the DCEU Batfleck. One of the worst written characters I've ever had the displeasure of viewing. Not even gonna lie. Jesus, I don't really care that much for Batman, to be honest. He was always. I'm not gonna go out and say he's overrated or anything, but he's just never been really one that I care that much for. So, have you changed your mind about Star Wars Rebels since the last video, or do you still think it's a good show? I think it's a great show. Yeah, I love it. In fact, if I've changed my mind, it's because I love it even more now than I did then. I rewatch episodes that I love, and I love them more every time. So, no, I have not watched the Batman animated series, wherever that question went. Here it is. I've not watched. Someone earlier asked if I'd seen anything in the DCAU. Does Flashpoint is that part of that? Because if not, then no. That's like I think the only DC animated thing that I've watched. I think if I've seen anything else, I don't remember. Goodbye, old friend. May the force be with you. You think Disney will make new Star Wars movies with the Jedi? Oh, no, I don't believe they would do something like that. Oh. Read Flashpoint, Batman. I've read the Flashpoint comic too, which is basically just the movie with some slight deviations. Well, I guess no, the movie is the one with the deviations, obviously, but yeah, I've watched that and I've read the comic and I like it. It's pretty good. Again, I don't really read that many comics outside of Star Wars stuff. So like, I mean, I've read like some Ultimate Spider-Man, not that much. And I've read Flashpoint, and that's about the extent of it as far as like outside stuff. I mean, I read part of the Boys comics, and I did not really care for those. So, I highlighted this comment, but I really have nothing to say as far as that's concerned. You think Disney is angling to remake the original trilogy? They would not dare. People keep saying that, and I'm like, no, they don't have the fucking balls to do something like that. They would never. They would never. I mean, they're not going to fucking remake the original trilogy. If they were going to remake any movies, I could almost maybe see them doing that with the prequels, although I doubt that. The sequels, they just kind of want you to forget ever happened. They're never going to try that again. But no, absolutely not. To think that that's going to happen is actually laughable. DCAU is comprised of Batman, the animated series, Superman, the animated series, Static Shock, Batman Beyond, Justice. I've watched some of Batman Beyond, Justice League, and Justice League Unlimited, which were all fantastic. Well, I will have to give those a shot, I guess. As far as I know my brother is into the DCAU, but I don't know. Never really got into it. DC was never really my forte. Aside from the Arrowverse, which is the Arrowverse. Um, that's all. That's all that really needs to be said about it. Hang on. Hop on my live stream. We talking about DC. I realize that I'm whispering and that you could probably hear that. So, oh well. Anyway, I like the idea that Ezra and Thrawn could become allies after the events of Rebels to counter the risks and other threats to the galaxy. What do you think? You know, after Rebels came out, the one thing I wanted was like a book or something continuing their story where they get like stranded on a planet somewhere and they have to work together against these like a primitive warlord or something. I don't know. That would be really fun. Unlikely allies and all that. Although the way things have gone with Ahsoka's episode in The Mandalorian, it kind of looks like just looks like Thrawn's already back in the fold and he's leading the Empire again. So, I guess that's not going to happen unless they give some kind of twist where maybe Ezra's helping him for some reason. That could be interesting. That could be really interesting, actually. You guys got a little bit of my ASMR. Sorry about that. Did you like it though? It's maybe I'll do more in the future. What if my entire Kenobi Part 2 video is just whispered like this? And maybe I do a little oh fuck. You heard that Dave Filoni says the Rebels epilogue is now set after The Mandalorian. I did hear something about that, actually. I guess. I don't know. That there's no reason why it can't be, I guess, is the only real response I have to that. Like, makes sense anyway. Like, I think that if Ahsoka is coming to Sabine to like go out and find Ezra, then she probably has some idea where Ezra is. So maybe what she did in Mandalorian is how she ended up figuring that out. Kenobi shot me in the face and sold my kidneys on eBay ASMR. I will possibly make that. Who knows? I'm glad you guys are finally catching on to my titles. I don't want to give myself like a pat on the back or anything because it's like the least effort you could possibly have as far as creativity is concerned. But I like to think that my extremely eccentric titles really set me apart from the rest. Lance, my dude, my guy, how art thou? Glad you finally came to join. Shit. Titles have been fire. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Someone commented on my Kenobi video that if I do a She-Hulk video, what did they say? She-Hulk video, She-Hulk like kicked me in the nuts and spit on my wife or something. I don't know. I'm probably not going to do a She-Hulk video because I don't care, but have been watching the show. It hasn't been good, so Kenobi sucked my soul out and spat right in George Lucas's face. That happened, yes. These are all valid titles, of course. I mean, the Kenobi video part 2 is probably just going to be called the same thing because I'm trying to keep with the whole part 1, part 2 system. But maybe I'll give it a different title. Who knows? Who knows? I was doing homework. Sorry, Sheev. It's more important than you. I know it is. You need to get good grades, Lancelot. I don't have a Discord server. Should I make a Discord server? I don't really use Discord, so I don't know how to do that, but I might look into it. A1 Brian Mills just gave me a $5 super chat, and that is very cool of him. The Kenobi series harvested my liver and sold it on Wish. No, don't sell it on Wish. At least on eBay, it might actually get to someone. Oh. Me after donating 20 kidneys to the hospital. Thank you for the super chat, Brian. You've been a great help. You've been a good pal. What Marvel did to the Hulk is a crime. A damn shame. It is a crime, yeah. Pisses me off, I'm gonna be honest. Lance a little. Invite me to the stream or you're a Filoni fan. Well, you know what? I was going to say, well, I guess I'm a Filoni fan. But frankly, I'm getting tired of being the only one to talk. So hang on. Let me... invite... Let me go ahead and DM it to you, Lance, so that you can join. I'm not going to put it in the chat, so hang on. How about a little more ASMR while we're getting this shit done? This is the quality content you guys clicked on this for, I know. I'm a boomer though, so I'm not good at all this shit. And frankly, to DM Lance the link, I would have to like sign in on there, and well, I could have just done it on Twitter. Whatever. I'm a boomer, so whatever. Okay. And sent. Lance, join me. Join me, brother, and we will discuss something, probably the EU, because that's all we really ever talk about. We can talk about other things, though. You know, we don't have to just talk about the EU. But Book of Boba Fett put me into a psych ward. ASMR. I was actually thinking about it, and I might revisit the Book of Boba Fett and do a more long form critique, if that's something you guys would be interested in, because I was rewatching some people talk about it, and I was like, yeah, there's a lot more to say about this show than I ended up saying. I really am a boomer. Holy shit. I accidentally fucking backed out of this page. God, this is the worst. Someone threw Sheev down a reactor shaft. Darth Vader threw me down a reactor shaft and sold my kidneys on eBay, for God's sake. Ahsoka burned our crops, poisoned the water supply, and delivered a plague onto our houses. A very niche reference. I don't know how many people are going to get that. I say niche. It's a popular show, but I don't know how many people are going to know that that's from that. Bro, why you be like the sheep when it comes to his soul? Hang on. Lance, did you accept the invite? Again, I'm a boomer, so you're probably going to have to walk me through this. How the fuck do I add you? There we go. Lancelot. Lance a little.
These boomer. Okay, so I logged in on Instagram, and then you said you're going to send it to me on Twitter.
Lance a little. There's the stream is echoing back on your end. Please turn that down. It is Lance. Hi, Marcel. We got the EU buds in here now.
Is that
Lance?
me?
Yeah. It was. I think it was coming from your end. Lance.
I'm not getting headphones, bro.
Wouldn't this be
Screw
so much
that.
easier through a Discord call? Yeah, I don't use Discord. Fuck. Well, anyway. Lance, I think I might just remove you. This was a terrible idea from start to finish. Been here since the start, you boomer. You're older than me. Also, you're a lawyer, so. Okay, I've never done this before, all right? You don't have to be so mean. Lance, I'm just removing you, sorry. Oh, you're here.
Okay, is it?
I think
Bro,
we're good.
why? Is there still echo?
No, I don't hear
Can't
anything.
hear. No, there's still an echo.
Cool. Saul Goodman defends Ahsoka in court.
That means it's on your end, Sheev.
I'm not hearing an echo at all. Is there an echo?
I'm stupid. I had the stream running on YouTube in the background.
Yeah, no shit. I told you to turn that down.
Shut up. It wasn't my fault.
Last Jedi made me go into exile. Life update. Brian, there's no echo in the stream. All right, Lance, what do you want to talk about? I'm tired of
Your
being the
mom.
only one
How about
trying to-
that?
oh. What if we talk about your mom? She might be
Yeah,
watching
fine.
the stream. She might be watching it downstairs. I could send her a
She's
link
not.
to it.
You do that, I kill you. I hate it when she does it. I hate it. She thinks it's so funny. She doesn't. Well, she's actually asleep right now, so we don't have to worry about that.
Okay. Well, you dodged the bullet this time, Lance.
That was some nice slurping. This ASMR stream is hype. I actually have headphones on with a mic on it, so.
Oh, yeah. Well, perfect. You do sound better, actually. You should use this mic every time you record.
But I look stupid with the headphones. Well, I don't know.
I don't know.
I look like a
It's
gamer. I love that Matt Wilkins picture, so I'm going to keep that up.
Of course. I'd like to have him on here, but I mean, he's probably busy.
Yeah, he has 2 sets of twins, so. Yeah. Matt, well, he may be watching. He's watched my streams before. When I'm live, he just doesn't say anything, which is weird, but he may be in stream. Who knows?
Maybe. I haven't seen a comment from him, so probably not.
If he's in stream, he's laughing his ass off right now.
One day, a team of screenwriters gathers and says, "We need a story about Jedi for our show." And then suddenly, Filoni knocks out the door and shouts, "Ahsoka is friends with a wolf in infancy." This is correct. Wait, is that? I'm not gonna watch Tales of the Jedi, of course, but
I am just so I can laugh at it.
I know Baby Ahsoka is gonna be gonna be in it. Is she gonna have like a little wolf friend? Are they gonna really fucking do that? Jesus Christ, God, they would do that, dude. They would.
Filoni is upset. Maybe he's a furry. Maybe Filoni's a furry. Maybe that's why he's so obsessed with wolves.
Hey, I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking.
I just wish he'd stop inserting wolves into everything. It was charming at first, and then he just kept doing it.
Reincarnated Kanan as a wolf. Look, if the EU ever did that, like let's say Luke died and he's reincarnated as an animal, you know how much hate that would get?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
but
but Filoni does it and it's okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Marcel, for this.
He would do that.
He
Filoni
would.
would do that. Like, I'm serious. Like, unironically, he would do that. No doubt.
Favorite what from canon, Brian?
Nothing.
Well, I really do like the Siege of Mandalore. I said that earlier in chat.
Cringe. I'm just kidding. I liked it too. It wasn't bad.
Doth I induce cringe? I really thought, there were some setbacks. We're both boomers in young people's bodies, but I don't know. I don't know if this is necessarily cringe. Do I watch any other channels that review movies and TV shows? Yeah, I watch a lot of them. Yeah, I talk about Mahler a lot. Sorry, I like his videos. I watch Cynical Reviews. It's a good one. Shadiversity. I mean, does that necessarily count? Shadiversity. He mostly talks about like fight choreography, not necessarily like film quality. Whatever. I watch Shafrilla's, Cosmonaut, YMS, all the basics, all the noob ones that everyone watches. But Lance, did you know that wolf backwards is flow?
No, I didn't. I didn't know that. I'm sure Filoni will put that in his show somehow. A wolf flowing in the water. Something stupid like that. And people would be like, oh, bro, Filoni fan? Oh, my, okay.
Well, it was brilliant. You understand.
Masterful storytelling.
Jesus.
I get that. I guess he was Lucas's apprentice, quote unquote, but he's not a very good apprentice. If he was, he would have killed Ahsoka off. But whatever.
I'm not necessarily against him, like wanting to keep Ahsoka after the Clone Wars, and I honestly think a lot of the best storytelling with her character was done in Rebels. So I'm glad he made the decision not to. I wish she had died on Malachor.
I meant that's what I meant. Like, I don't mind that she survives Order 66. I just want her to die before the original trilogy. But whatever.
Yeah, Night to Watch is all reviews. I don't actually watch much of Night to Watch. I'm subscribed to them, but I mainly only watch Shad's main channel because I like his fight breakdowns. I will not leave Lady Tano alone, Brian.
Lady Tano can die. Lady Soka, or what does Plo call her?
Little Soka, They've got a nice little found family dynamic going on, you understand? It's very cute. It's very wholesome. I
actually wouldn't mind if
Plo Koon treats all of his subordinates with respect. He considers the clones to be people, which is a novel concept, apparently.
Yeah, wait till he finds out what happens to him. Those people kill him.
No, it's what makes it more sad, Lance. Shut up. It's Clone Wars is great. Okay, I love Clone Wars. The EU just happens to be infinitely better, and that's fine.
That's just common knowledge.
She is my queen. That was meant to be a Jon Snow impression, but as you can probably tell, I'm not Kit Harington, so it didn't exactly work.
Apparently, I spoiled something. What I
Spoilers? What are we spoiling? Oh, because you said that he dies. Yeah, you have to be more considerate. Some people may not have seen Revenge of the Sith. It just came out like barely 17 years ago.
I can spoil a lot.
Wait. Remind me, how old are you, Lance? Is Revenge of the Sith older than you?
I was 8 months old when Revenge of the Sith came out.
Christ Jesus. Why you got to do
I'm older, just by a few months.
Oh, God.
Dude, you were born in 2000. That's 4 years before me. You're not You're not old. You look a lot older, but you're not.
Clearly I'm old. I mean, I can't even do a fucking live stream. I'm a boomer at heart.
I've always said I was born of the wrong generation, so.
Damn. If Ahsoka lives up to the sequel trilogy, I think they make it think that makes it more apparent that Filoni doesn't want to let her go. But okay, here's the thing: after the Rise of Skywalker, where like because her voice was she was among many Jedi who were talking to Rey, and so that implied to a lot of us that she must be dead by that point. But I'm pretty sure it was Filoni himself who was like, that doesn't necessarily mean she's dead. She may have just been, giving Rey a helping hand from somewhere else in the galaxy. And it's like, just look, she's not going to fuck you. You need to let her die.
Well, if Ahsoka lives up to the sequels, it just proves that Filoni likes the sequels. So,
Space Whale,
Filoni
you're
fans
older
out
than
there.
me. How old are you, Space Whale? I need to know for science. Okay, yes. Mace Windu acknowledged the rule of two in Phantom Menace. I think it was Yoda, right, who acknowledged it. He said, always two there are, no more, no less. And then Windu said, but which was destroyed, the master or the apprentice? I'm pretty sure that was explained, right, in some EU, maybe a reference book or something.
The idea of the rule of two and Darth Bane, the character of Darth Bane, those are George Lucas originals.
Yeah.
So it's like the EU. The more in-depth lore about those two things is EU, but the character of Darth Bane creating the rule of two, that's a Lucas thing. That's a G-canon thing. But
I mean, yeah, it's just that the way it's written in the Bane trilogy, like, there's no way the Jedi should know about it. So, like, they had to, like, explain that in some EU source, how Yoda and Windu knew about it.
Yeah, I mean, even if you look before the rule of two was established, the Sith, they always, like, two was always symbolic to them. There was always, even during the days of Revan Sith Empire, there was a master and apprentice, and the apprentice killed the master, right? That just happened all at the same time. It was all, like, all the Sith were doing it, if that makes sense. It just wasn't just two. It was like these hundreds of Sith, there was a master and apprentice. It's hard to explain, but there were that symbolism of two with the master and apprentice. That always existed with the Sith. So it just became more. It just became just two by the time of Bane. Just two Sith ever.
I guess the idea though is that, like, with the prequels, they knew that Maul wasn't the only Sith, but they seemed to just assume that there were only two. And it's like, well, you can't really assume that because there could be thousands of them lurking about you just haven't heard of. They seem to assume that there's only two Sith, and that because then Dooku comes along and reveals himself as a Sith, and he tells Obi-Wan about this mysterious Darth Sidious. But, like, just because he says that there's, like, a leader, like, that Sidious is, like, the leader of the Senate, doesn't necessarily mean that Sidious and Dooku are the only Sith around. So I guess the question is, how do they know there's only two?
It's actually interesting because it's like, well, how do they know he was even a Sith? And I say that because Dark Jedi are always around, apparently, in the EU. I love the EU, but that's one of the common things with it. Even Jedi Apprentice, there was Dark Jedi in that series. There was Dark Jedi everywhere. Yeah. So it's like, well, why did they think he was a Sith? Maybe because they had the title Darth, but how did they know that? So
with Maul?
Yeah. I mean, he had the Darth title. Maybe that's why they thought he was a Sith.
I think they humored the idea that Maul was a Dark Jedi, but Qui-Gon was like, no, like, I've gone toe-to-toe with this guy. He knew his shit. He was more than any Dark Jedi. He was a Sith.
I guess that's true. I guess they could maybe just tell just by fighting him. That would make sense because Sith are obviously a lot more skilled and more powerful.
Yeah. Lance, I don't know if your like Wi-Fi is spotty right now. You kind of cut out there a little bit. Sounded like you were in the bottom of a can opener.
Well, maybe I am.
It's possible, I suppose.
But did you understand what I said though? Like,
yeah, I did.
Okay.
That's kind of just always been my theory, is that, like, they can just tell. They've fought so many Sith and they've studied the the way the Sith fight that they just know, like, this guy isn't some dark Jedi. He knows his shit. He's a Sith. Just let Ahsoka die. If Filoni really can't let her go, then the least he could do is make her a Force ghost or make the new generation of Thanos. Star Wars is a story of generations. Man, I don't want Ahsoka to like have kids.
A new generation of Thanos.
Yeah, please don't do that. Please.
One is bad enough.
I like Ahsoka. Damn you, Lance. I know how you feel, dude. People earlier. You weren't here earlier, but like people were asking me if I hate Dave Filoni. I got a few questions about that. And I'm like, I literally say in my video that I really like the guy and that he's like a hero of mine. I just don't like what he does to the books and the stuff. But like Lance is like our resident Filoni hater. He does not like him.
Yeah, I don't. I like some of the stuff he's done, but like it's like the presidents to me. I like some of the things that some of the presidents have done. I'm not gonna name any, but like I hate them all. So Filoni the same way. He's done some cool stuff, but I don't like him. So a hero? Why? Why is he a hero, Sheev?
Well, I consider him a hero because he made Clone Wars and Rebels, and I like both of those a lot, and I grew up with those. They just both mean a lot to me personally. Of course, I didn't know this at the time as I was growing up watching them, like how much he was fucking with the EU, and if I had, that may have changed my perception of him. But as a kid, I didn't fucking know about that. I didn't care. I was like, this is some good shit, you know? Darth Maul's in here. He's fucking everyone's lives up. It's cool. I like it.
Does he also have monkeypox? If we're talking about Filoni, absolutely.
Brian, I don't know what this is. Fodazenbead antidote. I don't know what that is. I'm illiterate.
Me too.
That's okay, though. Marcel did bring up a good point that one of the reasons they were able to tell Maul was a Sith is because he had Sith tattoos.
I thought
Qui-Gon never seems to mention that to the council, so I don't think he was able to tell.
I thought those were just like not generic, but like traditional Zabrak tattoos.
No, they're not. They are Sith tattoos. He was taken before he was taken from Dathomir. No, he was taken from Iridonia long before he ever got his traditional Zabrak markings.
I guess that makes sense though, because if you look at Legacy, the Legacy comics, a lot of those Sith have similar tattoos. So
yeah,
like Talon,
and they're all red for some reason, and like the meta reason is like they want them to look like Darth Maul, but it's like, yeah, fine, I guess. I just don't know why they have to be red.
I mean, red just means, I don't know, bad, negativity, stuff like that. So
why is
I don't know, he's Sith.
Well, it's like, yeah, they all were raised on Korriban, but like, I don't know. Darth Krayt spent a lot of time there. He didn't turn red. Is there something in the water on Korriban that makes everyone's skin red?
I don't know. Maybe they pulled a Michael Jackson, just bleached their skin. I don't know.
Sith purebloods were red skinned, but yeah, but like these weren't like they don't like the one Sith don't seem to be descended from any purebloods. That like they are their species. They're fucking Twi'lek, and there's
Twi'leks. There are like Twi'leks, like as a race, there are red Twi'leks. Like, it's rare, but they do exist. So Talon just happened to be a red Twi'lek.
Right, that's fine. But there's like a Quarren, and there's like whatever the fuck Masameda species is what Warlock is. I've never seen any red versions of them, so I don't know.
Well, maybe they're just special. I don't know.
I always just thought Maul's tattoos were his skin color. Nope, he is just he's a really red boy. All the black is just tattoos.
He's a red, horny boy. Boy, I can't talk.
I mean,
it's not wrong. I mean, he has horns. He's horny. And his skin's red, so he's a red, horny boy.
There's also a lot of Zabraks that, Eth Koth or Agent Kolar, who weren't raised on Iridonia because obviously they were taken by the Jedi. So they don't have tattoos, and that makes sense.
Someone said talk about DC. No.
Why the fuck would I ever talk about DC? Garbage garbage superheroes, garbage stories, the lot of them. Batman killed my father and then raised me to be a murderer. Yeah, I don't want to talk about DC. You talk about DC. You start up a live stream and you talk about DC. All right, and maybe we'll watch it and we'll react to it.
Yeah, we'll just laugh at it the whole time. Sorry, Butterfly.
Sorry, I love you. I love you, Cursive Butterfly. Please don't leave me.
DC is actually better than Marvel, though. So, in general, not the DCEU. I'm not saying that. I'm saying as a franchise, I prefer it. So,
I don't know. I mean, because I don't know either comic continuity well enough to give any kind of definitive answer. I know on the cinematic front, Marvel, while it hasn't been doing well lately, is still leagues better than DC. So, I mean, I say that specifically talking about the MCU as a whole versus the DCEU as a whole, because like the Batman is infinitely better than anything Marvel has put out in the last, like, I want to say 2-3 years. That includes Spider-Man No Way Home, by the way, even though I love that movie more than the Batman.
people just, I mean, I think it's cool if you like it. I haven't seen it, and I don't know what I will, but I don't know. It just seemed like, hey, you have all these characters in here. You remember these characters?
Yeah, that's what it would have been if it had been written by someone like Dave Filoni. But they actually
I know.
They actually gave the older Spider-Man and their villains like arcs and like expanded on their characters and really did stuff with them. They weren't just there to like show up and wave and be cool and then leave. So I don't know.
Well, that's true. I mean, I've seen clips of the movie, and it seems really good. I'm not saying it's bad at all, but and I did see. I mean, I do know that Tom's Spider-Man got a lot of development in that movie, so I guess that's fan service done right. I guess I don't know.
Hey, Lance.
Hey, what?
I'm gonna leave you with this question. Go ahead and answer it. I will be right back.
All right. He's probably still here. He's just not listening. Yes, that's why I'm a DC fan. That's a big reason why I grew up with that stuff. DC, especially Justice League. Well, I can't control any of the comments or anything, so Tate, your question's gonna stay up for a while. I'll just read them off. Sam Witwer was streaming Hitman 3 days ago. Doesn't he stream on Twitch? Also, I'm gonna go ahead and put my channel in. Subscribe to my channel, all of you. I just go live, so a lot of the time I talk about the Star Wars EU and that kind of stuff. So yeah, follow me, subscribe to me, do all that stuff. Guys, when he gets back, or when he gets back, we should all tell him, just spam in chat that his mic is muted. So, how do you feel about Maul in the Clone Wars? It was done fine. I just wish that it didn't happen because it creates problems with the EU. But yeah, before he gets back, guys, when he gets back, spam in chat that his mic is muted. All right, here we go.
Sorry, I've been having to pee since before the stream even began, so I figured now that I had a guest on, he might be able to entertain you guys long enough. I don't even know if he's still there. Oh, well. You can't hear me? The fuck? Hello? Hello?
Sheev, we heard you the whole time. I'm just playing a prank on you, bro.
What happened?
Sheev. We're pranking you, bro.
SpongeBob is gay.
Who? Wait, what? Who's gay? You? Sheev.
Hey.
I was just letting you know you're not really muted.
Oh, cool. You guys all fucked with me like that?
Yes.
That's cool. Fuck you.
Yeah, I told him while you
Jesus
were.
Christ.
I told the chat while you were.
I actually can't hear Lance though. I don't know if he's fucking with me.
Yeah, you can't do the same joke on me, dude. My mic is not muted.
Lance?
What? Sheev, you can't do the same joke on me. That's
Lance,
not
I'm
how
gonna
that-
remove you.
For what?
Well, all right then. Cool. Sorry, hang on. I was going up in the comments to see if I could find you guys make your little pact, but I guess Lance did it. So well. Lance, are you there?
Yeah. I didn't say anything in the chat.
Okay, whatever.
I just.
I have been fully thrown off my track. Oh, so why is SpongeBob gay? Well, here's the thing. Sandy has been trying to get with him since 1999, and he still ain't pulling. So I can only make one conclusion. Oh, I mean, also his relationship with Patrick is pretty telling. So fuck you, Lance. Wow. You guys are really exposing me as a boomer, and I cannot stand it. Send me more questions, for I cannot always elaborate on the gayness of SpongeBob. Should I block Lance? I think I'm gonna block Lance. Yes, true. However, and this is a big one. Go fuck yourself, Lance. How exactly do you add someone on a stream? I'm thinking of doing it on my own stream. I mean, I don't know. I'm using this this site called StreamYard. You'll know you're on the right one if it's a cartoon picture of a duck wearing headphones. Yeah, I don't know. It's all pretty easy stuff. You just kind of figure it out. Clearly, I'm still figuring it out, but hey. How about Obi-Wan's bisexuality? Oh, man. See, now, Brian, I don't know if you're referencing the Padawan novel or not. You might be, but I know that you don't really keep up with the latest Star Wars, book news. So you may honestly not know what that's a reference in the... Holy shit. You think there can ever be too much lore? Like the writers go so far into explaining the world, it gets kind of silly. I mean, I don't know. If it gets silly, it gets silly. But I think, like obviously with the expanded universe, there's so much left that they could have explored and expanded upon. So, I wish they had. But I guess maybe eventually it might have gotten to the point where it's like, okay, you've really told all the stories you can. There's, you probably want to just call it quits. Do you think Star Wars can be restored with Andor? No, just no. I met Matt because of you, but guess what, buddy? I don't care. Shut up. I think I already asked this before, but what do you think of what do you think the future of Star Wars should be? Frankly, good storytelling.
I was leaving it in here.
Okay. Okay, come here. My dog has decided to join. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything specific for this question because it's like at this point, what they need to do right now is to just turn the sinking ship around, and then maybe we can start looking at doing some actual cool, maybe even risque things. But yeah, for now, just a matter of give us some good shows about literally anything. I don't care. Just give us some good shows with some good writing, and that's all I need. I'm falling behind again. I don't know if you remembered what we've talked before on one of Lance's streams. I know you. I've seen your name here and there. Top 5 superhero shows. Man, okay, let's see. Daredevil obviously is number 1. Do you count shit like Lucifer and and the Sandman? Because those aren't really superheroes, right? Not really. They're both DC characters, but I don't know if you would count that necessarily. Hang on one second. My dog's gonna join because he keeps whimpering and whining. I'm gonna add Lance back though. Lance, you fucker.
Oh, did I make you mad? I'm sorry.
Man, really?
Chat, thank you very much.
Whatever.
That was a
Screw
great
you.
prank.
Let's see. Oh yeah, I was still answering the question. Sorry. Daredevil, probably The Boys. Invincible's really good. There's really not a lot of good superhero shows. I'm gonna be honest with you. Shit. At least that I can recall on the top of my head. I like Heroes. I don't know if it's necessarily all that good. I like it though. Whatever. What is this in response to? Is it something I'm doing or something one of the commenters is doing? Oh God, Superman and Lois. Dude, I completely spaced that one. I'm sorry. I love Superman and Lois. I just forgot about that one. Yeah, it's definitely up there. Yeah, I don't know. There's not a lot of great superhero shows, to be completely honest. Most of them are like mediocre at best and just god awful at worst. So, let's see. What is your opinion on the Clone Wars miniseries done by the people behind Samurai Jack? Personally, I love it, and I had my favorite portrayal of Grievous. Yeah, definitely agree on the Grievous part. He frankly hasn't been handled well since that show. But yeah, I love the it's the Gendy Tartakovsky series. Yeah, good stuff. Lance, I'm gonna add you one more time. If you freaking keep doing your bullshit, I'm removing you, and you're not coming on. You're not coming back on. All right. Hello.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. I was getting some chips.
All right, fuck you.
Bro, seriously, what'd you say? I didn't hear you.
Can you
I
guys
heard the
hear him?
last
Because
part.
I can't hear him.
Haha, funny joke.
Hang on, let me pull up the stream. See if he's actually talking or not. Oh, Lance, why can't I hear you? Your audio is actually like playing on screen, but I can't hear you. What's going on? That's weird. Oh, well, that fucking explains it. Sorry, Lance. I thought you were like fucking with me.
How's Stream Chat doing?
I don't know.
Good tips.
They're doing.
Lance sounds like a Minecraft character.
Which Minecraft character? We have to know. Inquiring minds would like to know. Lance, can I have some of your chips?
You may not like the flavor.
What flavor is it?
Salt and vinegar.
Ooh, disgusting. Why would you ever eat salt and vinegar chips?
Why would
willingly.
you ever like Filoni? Why do you like Ahsoka?
And fuck you, Lancelot. I might kick him again. Honestly, I
Yeah.
might. I honestly might.
For what?
We do not tolerate dissenting opinions around here. Okay, if you do not agree with me, the objectively correct opinion, then you're gone.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So you better kiss Filoni's boot and
Me
praise
kiss-
Ahsoka.
You telling me to kiss his boot? Bro, that's like okay. You know, hell Filoni, how about that?
Hail Filoni. Heil Hitler, bitch.
Filoni's literally the greatest human to ever exist. He's better than Jesus.
I mean, yeah. Personally, I mean, no
I'm
one tops
Catholic
him.
and I'm saying that, so
Jesus doesn't hold the candle. I mean, it's David Jethro Filoni. Hey, Mr. White. I will Heil Hitler, bitch. Oh, I got a super chat by Megatron. Have an idea to save Star Wars. Have the First Order find what's left of Darth Vader's disc on Mustafar and clone a full Anakin. His disc? What disc? Clone a full Anakin and he kills everyone. Okay. I mean, I guess. Thank you for the super chat, Megatron.
that's actually a good idea. That's better than Kenobi.
This conversation is obviously missing a half-hour discussion about Friends. Lance, have you ever seen Friends?
I have.
Really? Okay.
I love sitcoms. Like I've seen 2.5 Men. I've watched a little bit of that 90s show. Or no, that 70s show. What the fuck?
Yeah, fuck
That
that
70s
90s
show. I don't know why I said 90s, but that 70s show. I was thinking that. I don't know why I said 90s. Anyway. Family Guy, that's a sitcom. Technically, just animated.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like sitcoms for the most part. Friends is cool. Did you particularly want to have a half-hour discussion about Friends?
No, it's not that interesting.
Yeah, that's fair. It's pretty. I don't know. There are a lot of sitcoms I like better, like How I Met Your Mother, as Alex pointed out. Great show. Great show.
I know there's another one.
Drake and Josh. The Office is pretty good. Community. I got my brother into Community. He's been binging it lately.
What's that one? Everybody Loves Raymond. That's a good one.
Oh, I've never seen that one.
I really liked it. I thought it was funny.
Oh, you ever seen Seinfeld?
I've seen a little bit of it, like very little. My mom is a huge fan of that.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
And then there's an older. It's a really old one. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's called All in the Family. It's a classic show.
I've heard of it.
I
haven't watched
think
it, but
it's hilarious. Like, there's no filter in that show. They talk about everything bad. It's the funniest thing. It's even though it's outdated, came out back in the 70s. It's hilarious. It's like your classic American Family, you know.
I'd have to watch it because I literally have no horse in this race. But yeah, I imagine it's quite good. I did want to highlight this video because he's stroking my ego, and that's what I care about on this channel. I loved your Kenobi video. I admire your ability to give a fair critique with jokes and an intense knowledge of the history and lore of Star Wars. Looking forward to part 2. Thank you, 321 Blast Off. You are truly Sheev, and I love you very, very much.
Someone asked, "Have you ever played KOTOR?" I have. Sheev hasn't.
I haven't. I'm not a video game guy.
Yeah,
if you ever come to me asking for video game opinions, I'm just gonna say I don't really care. Someone did ask if I like Fallen Order earlier. I was like, I don't know, it's fine. What do you think of Fallen Order, Lance?
I don't know, because I actually replayed it before I watched Kenobi because I knew that I thought Cal Kestis was going to show up in some way. He didn't, but I just had that feeling,
I would
have replayed the game.
Kind of annoyed if he did, to be honest.
I would have been too, but I remember I played it shortly after it came out, and I remember finishing the game, and I'm like, I spent $60 on this. But I replayed it again, and I actually liked it a lot more. I like I love the combat in the game. I think it's really cool. But the story, there's a lot of cool elements, like the Zephos. That's really neat. A lot of that was cool. It's just, to me, it felt like a Rebels ripoff. Oh, this kid who survived Order 66 from this backwater world is discovered by this, former Jedi, and he's taken as that Jedi's apprentice. It kind of felt like that, and they go on this adventure against the Empire and stuff like that. That's what it felt like to me. Just felt like a Rebels ripoff.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. I guess I never thought about that, but that is true. And of course, Rebels did it better because Rebels is criminally underrated. But
I will say, I have a soft spot for Rebels because, again, like you, I grew up with it. I watched the premiere the day it came out. Like the night it came out, I watched it. I remember loving it.
Same.
But I think I don't speak highly of it anymore because of what they did with Thrawn. So,
which is fair. I mean, I don't know. One thing I will say about the way Rebels handles Thrawn that I absolutely love is I actually think his defeat is really good, and here's why. I think it's very cool that Thrawn is this like master tactician who can predict how everything is going to go down because he, knows everything and he's smart. But when you introduce an element that he's not really familiar with, he's not going to know how to handle it. So Ezra brings in these fucking space whales to come win the battle for him. Of course Thrawn's going to lose. He doesn't know what's going on. It's a force power that he can't possibly understand because he doesn't understand the force.
Well, I don't know. Because, I would agree with you. But after Kenobi, I probably wouldn't because Bail Organa mentions Purrgil. So to me, that tells me, Purrgil are, I guess, known in the galaxy. Why does Thrawn not know about them? Because Thrawn is, one of the smartest men in the galaxy. Why does he not know about them? Why were they, I don't know. I guess you did have Ezra, so I guess it didn't matter. But I don't know. I just hated his characterization and what they should have just created a new character. They didn't have
but you see, Lance, they couldn't do that because Thrawn is popular and people like him. So, there's that.
I mean, you could have literally just taken out his look and his name and give him a different look and different name, and then nothing would have been changed. Nothing.
Yep. But that is not the world we live in. Because in the same vein, people have said, like, Book of Boba Fett would have been infinitely better if it had the same exact plot, but it was about Cobb Vanth and not Boba Fett. And I agree with
It
that.
would have
Like,
made more sense too.
I mean, same premise anyway. Yeah, it would have made a lot more sense. He's a person who's lived on Tatooine, you know, presumably his entire life. Of course, he
Right.
actually gives a shit about Tatooine.
Plus, he's a leader.
Um,
He's that type of person, you know.
Yeah,
Boba Fett's not. Boba Fett is Boba Fett.
the role that Boba plays in this show, like Cobb Vanth would have fit perfectly. But nobody's gonna sit down and watch a show called The Book of Cobb Vanth or whatever they call it. You put Boba Fett's name in the title, of course it's gonna get butts and seats. That's the only thing they care about. We got to make a show about Boba Fett, even though it would make a lot more sense with Cobb Vanth in this role. That's the reality we live in.
And then people will say, well, you know, Tamora Morsham's, and it's like, I don't give a frick if George Lucas made it. If it's bad,
If it's
it's
bad,
bad.
it's bad.
You know, I mean,
You know,
I don't care if Lucas made it.
People like to say like that like, oh, bring Lucas back, but it's like, you know, he did make the prequels, right? Like, let's not forget that he made the prequels. They're not nearly as bad as the sequels by a long shot, but he did still make them.
Yeah, he's not. I think the story of all 6 films, the first 6, I think the story's excellent in every movie, and I love the story in all of them. I don't think the story was really the problem with the prequels. There's more of the more technical aspect, the filmmaking aspect. But even with the Phantom Menace, you know, I get why people wouldn't. Shut up, Alex. You suck, bro.
Fuck you, Alex. Piece of shit.
Anyway, this like the Phantom Menace, even though it is kind of confusing, like Bacon Clan, all this other stuff. It's like, well, what is this? But I don't know. I like the story in all of them. So
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I have such a soft spot for the prequels. Like, I mean, each one of those movies I love so much, but they're bad. So that's kind of all I can really, I don't know. I was talking to my brother about this, and like he convinced me, like, okay, Revenge of the Sith isn't bad. It's like it's okay, it's fine. Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace, though, those are bad. Those are bad movies. You can't talk me out of that.
I don't know. I guess they're badly made movies, but the story is great in both of them. Sorry, but I love the story in them.
Oh, sure, yeah, absolutely. And I also think that
Especially
a lot of the ideas that are presented, they're not necessarily executed well, but it's like I see what you were going for there, and I love that. And they're really well expanded upon in the EU material, but like the films themselves, I just don't think are very good.
Yeah, I guess as films I can see that, but I don't care. I still love the prequels.
Oh yeah, me too. And I mean, some of the, like I said earlier in this stream, like some of my favorite EU stuff comes from the prequel era.
Right.
So without those movies, we wouldn't have that. We wouldn't have the Republic comics if it wasn't for the prequel era. Those are my favorite comics.
You wouldn't have Shadowhunter. You wouldn't have. I guess Outbound Flight you could have had either way.
You could have, yeah.
Because it was in the Thrawn trilogy.
Well, it would be a drastically different book, of course, but
Someone says Sheev is a shill.
And they're correct. I'm a shill. I'm just waiting for that check to clear from Disney, and then I'm ditching all you bitches.
I'm an EU shill, which doesn't really make sense, but whatever. I'm an EU shill.
Now, this person says that the Darth Plagueis novel greatly enhances the Phantom Menace, and I absolutely agree. However, I will always stand by that just because a book can come along and retroactively make a film infinitely better does not mean that the film is now good. Because you shouldn't have to read Darth Plagueis in order for Phantom Menace to be good.
I see what you're saying, Sheev, and I do agree with you, but like I also disagree because Star Wars, it's not a cinematic universe. Yeah, it started with movies, but even in the new canon, I don't know. I feel like the books, they're not essential, but they're really good with understanding the movies, if that makes sense. It's not essential, but they really add so much more. And that's just what Star Wars is. We're not just a movie franchise. We have all this different stuff.
Or absolutely, yeah. But I say any film should stand on its own. And you know what?
Right.
People sometimes ask me, okay, well, why should
why shouldn't a film be allowed to rely on a book or a comic to explain, basic plot elements that we wouldn't be able to get from just the film? Because I often argue, they shouldn't contradict them. And I'm like, that's such a weird way of thinking, because it's like, why do you want me to read these books and these comics to understand your movie if they aren't even meant to be taken, seriously as far as being canonical? Like what if I needed to read the Kanan comics to understand, this movie? But it's like, well, but those comics aren't canon, are they? Because the Bad Batch.
Well, Disney doesn't have a hierarchy, so technically it's all canon.
Yeah.
It's just contradictions. Now, if it was the EU, obviously the Bad Batch would have taken its interpretation would have been more accurate, and the Kanan comic probably would have been reduced to S canon.
Well, yeah, because Bad Batch would have fallen under T canon.
Yeah, most likely.
That's one of the reasons I'm so glad that the EU was wiped away for the new canon, because like Filoni would have made Rebels, and don't think for even a second that he wouldn't try to change it to bend with the EU. No, it would probably be the exact same show that it is right now, and that doesn't fit in the EU timeline, but he wouldn't have cared.
It's actually weird though, because a lot of people try to make Rebels fit with the EU. At least a lot of the older, it's like they don't fit, dude. And
yeah, they don't fit.
Here's how. Thrawn was a Grand Admiral in Rebels before Episode 4. He wasn't promoted to a Grand Admiral until like in the EU. I think it was right before Return of the Jedi. I think. I always forget, but it's after Episode 4. So there you go. That's proof it can't fit.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I guess you could retcon and say, well, maybe he was a temporary Grand Admiral, but why? Why would he be a temporary Grand Admiral?
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, the foundation of the rebellion is explored in The Force Unleashed, and it's explored in Rebels. They can't both fit in the same continuity, so you'd have to discard one for the other. Why do that when there is a perfectly good canon to put it in? Well, perfectly good may not be the right word for it. It does suck that Rebels exists exclusively in canon, because the canon universe kind of fucking sucks. But
oh, there's hidden gems among the pile of shit, right?
Yeah, it's always that diamond in the rough. Now, this individual, Reskov, has said, and I apologize if I just mispronounced your name, books should solely serve as bonus material to already good movie, and that's pretty much where my stance is. Yeah,
that's true, but I think books are somewhat essential to Star Wars, and let me tell you why. At least when the prequels came out, because Lucas contradicted his own damn movies in the prequels. He contradicted the originals multiple times. So that's when the EU had to come in and fix all that up. Because if you're watching, like, let's say you watch episode 4, then you go watch episode 2, well, you're going to be like, well, how old's the Republic? Is it 25? Or is it 1,000 generations, or is it 1,000 years?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like that's when the EU is essential.
No. I agree with you. The books really come in clutch as far as that's concerned, but that's kind of the point I'm making, is that Attack of the Clones came in and said that the Republic is only 1,000 years old, when in A New Hope it was established that it was 1,000 generations old, and that's a significantly higher amount of time. So that's a flaw with the film, right? That's a flaw with Attack of the Clones. And an EU source can come along and fix that, and that's great. And if you're a fan of the EU, that's amazing. But now you're telling me that I have to go read these EU sources in order to understand, okay, so technically the Republic has been around for 1,000 generations, but like the Galactic Republic as it's known in modern day is only 1,000. You shouldn't have to go to these outside sources for that to make sense. And so Attack of the Clones trying to stand on its own doesn't work.
And that, I will say, that's ultimately Lucas's fault. But
oh yeah, absolutely.
See, I don't mind though, because I read everything. I see everything as one, so I guess it doesn't really bother me that much. But
sure, yeah, that's fine.
I see why it would bother other people, like especially with the freaking
it doesn't bother me.
9.
It doesn't bother me because, like you, I read the stuff, and so it,
yeah.
But like, I still can be unbothered by it while also addressing, like, yeah, it doesn't really work because the films can't stand on their own.
And then you see, like, Now, what really ticks me off is episode 9 and all this shit that's in that movie. It's like, see, because look, now, I don't know. I used to love TLJ for a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of parts of it I still really do enjoy. Specifically, Kylo. I feel like Kylo was excellent in that movie. The best, obviously the best of the sequels, and he was the best in that movie. But I was a big fan of the Rey Nobody thing. You know, I thought that was different. I thought it would make sense. I thought it would be realistic too. You know,
Yeah,
but
sure.
and then I remember it's funny too because JJ before the movie came out, he said, "Yeah, you don't have to be related to anyone to be super force sensitive or whatever." And then I'm watching the movie, and I'm like, "Dude, JJ, I mean, what the hell's wrong with you?"
I mean, yeah, no shit. Like, have you ever seen the prequels? There's like 10,000 Jedi running around, and none of them are like related to the Skywalkers or the Kenobis or the Palpatines.
Yeah, it's like he says that, and then he makes Rey Palpatine, and I don't understand. But
Yeah,
that's the first thing that pissed me off. Second of all, it's like, and then the way they explained it, oh, well, they became nobodies. But then Kylo says, oh, I didn't lie to you. So you didn't lie to her when... So it's like a contradiction there. Kylo says in TLJ, well, they sold you off for drinking money. Next movie, he says, oh, they chose to be nobodies because they're good people and they gave you away for good purpose. Obviously, contradiction there. But then he says, oh, I didn't lie to you. I'm like, what are you talking about then?
Well, and the thing is, he says he didn't lie because if you really stretch it, like, yes, technically it was implied that your parents were nobody, and technically that's true because none of them are characters from past movies that we know about. But even then, it's like you also said they sold her for drinking money, and that's just not true. So
it's
liar.
I hated that, and it's like. I was so convinced that she was going to stay a nobody. I'll let you read that real quick.
Yeah. Sorry, Megatron. Thank you once again for the super chat. They have been very, very helpful tonight. He says Thrawn should clone a new Anakin form from maybe some of his DNA on his burned helmet, and they both destroy everything. I'm sorry. That's
like terrible. An Infinities type story.
That's like something I could see Dave Filoni making happen. That could happen in the Ahsoka show. I'm not kidding. That might actually happen in the Ahsoka show.
Master, he's back.
And then his name is Anakin or Anakin or something. Two eyes.
Nah, his name would be Sky Guy.
Sky Guy, Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Anyway, back to the episode 9 thing. So going into that movie and watching the movie, I was so convinced she was going to stay a nobody because of that J.J. Abrams quote that I didn't catch on to the obvious hint that she was a Palpatine, right? I like it's not that I didn't catch on. I thought there'd be some other, and then Palpatine or Kylo tells Rey, "Oh, you're a Palpatine." I'm sitting there like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" So I don't know. That movie is just horrible.
Also, JJ forgot that Kylo didn't know about Rey's parentage until Palpatine told him, so that part was not a lie. It was ignorance. Yeah, none of it really works. Because, I mean, also, what do you mean her parents were nobody? One of them was the child of Emperor Palpatine. That's not nobody.
Exactly.
There's nothing about any of that retcon that works in any way. It's the most blunderously stupid way that you could write that in. And try to say that it actually fits with The Last Jedi. No, it doesn't. Shut up.
Yeah, I hear people all the time. Well, like, obviously that there's connections to TLJ and the Rise of Skywalker. Like, Snoke dying, that's mentioned, all this stuff. But that doesn't mean that they still fit because there's things that don't fit. So it's like, because I saw someone on Twitter, he said, well, these TLJ and Rise of Skywalker, they fit because of this and this and this, but he doesn't mention Palpatine coming back. Obviously, that was nothing. That was not planned. I don't give a shit what y'all say. He doesn't mention Rey's parentage and how that was changed. He doesn't mention how Kylo's entire story from TLJ is just forgotten in the next movie. The whole point of TLJ for Kylo, that's why Snoke died, was so he could basically, his chains are broken. To quote the Sith code. I know he's not a Sith, but whatever. He was breaking his chains by killing Snoke. That's why he did that. So, and that's why I loved Snoke's death. Like, yeah, okay, we didn't get to see who he was, but that wasn't the point of Snoke. The point of Snoke was to restrict Kylo as a character, and Kylo killing Snoke, well, that really impacted his story in a good way. So
Ken Palpatine is definitely a somebody, Lance and Sheev. We stand Jedi Prince around here. Anyone who has read Jedi Prince, I will hear nothing but nice things, or you will be kicked.
I
Thank you,
wonder,
Alex.
are those authors still alive who wrote those books? Do you know?
Paul, I don't know. I mean, I know who they are, Paul and
I'm a-
Hollis Davids, but
I'm gonna look that up real quick because if they are, obviously I hope they are, but I'd love for them to see the love that Jedi Prince is getting now. After all those seriously though, like after all those years of people crapping all over those books.
Yeah, no.
Oh, David.
I'm like the OG Jedi Prince stan. I've always loved those books.
Are they brothers? It looks like it.
I think no, they're a married couple.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm,
Paul David's an American independent filmmaker and writer, especially in the area of science fiction. Often collaborating with his wife Hollis. David's. It looks like they're still alive.
I think so.
Cindy
Yeah.
Death. But I hope that they're seeing all the love that their books got or are starting to get now, because obviously there's a lot of weird stuff in there. But I don't
Hey,
know.
Lance, you're in the can opener again. A little bit.
Well, that's not my fault.
You're a little clearer now. And they haven't written anything since Jedi Prince, and I really don't blame them, considering every other EU author basically just disregarded their work, but cherry picked the stuff that was kind of cool. And, but
Right.
I hope they know that we love them. Let's see. After watching The Last Jedi, please bring back JJ. After watching The Rise of Skywalker, please bring back Ryan. Don't bring back any of them, man. Just bring back anyone. I would rather Michael Bay write and direct a Star Wars movie than either of them. Just gonna be honest with you.
I would rather have. Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh no, I'm looking at something else. I have the stream pulled up and it doesn't show that I'm talking. Whatever.
Oh yeah, I can hear you. I don't know if
Okay.
they can. I mean, I assume they can.
What was I saying? Oh, director. What? Or I should say writer. What writer? I'd rather have Vonda and McIntyre, honestly.
Do you think she really cares all that much about Star Wars? She wrote like one Star Wars book, and it was really widely hated. So,
Well, I would rather have her, and she's dead now, so of course she doesn't care.
I didn't know that. Whoops.
Oh, sorry.
Someone
that was
asked-
me. Yeah, she has passed away.
Would you guys rather have a complete JJ sequel trilogy, a complete Ryan trilogy, or a Lucas trilogy?
Ryan trilogy. I'm sorry, Lucas. Look, Lucas sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
It sounds so
See,
stupid.
The thing is that like none of those options really sound good to me, because the Lucas trilogy, the pitch, the synopsis that I've heard that was going to be the Lucas trilogy sounds terrible. I don't want that. JJ, I mean, again, he doesn't know how to write endings. It's pretty evident in The Rise of Skywalker. He would have fucked it up. Now, Ryan Johnson, for all of his faults, if he was given full creative freedom over the entire trilogy from the beginning, probably would have done the best work. They may not have been good, but they would have been better than the other options. That sucks to say. I can't believe out of all of these three, I just chose Ryan Johnson.
Well, JJ is just uncreative. I mean, he's not creative. I don't know what they were thinking when they hired him. Lucas, his stuff doesn't even sound like it was made by him.
Yeah.
And I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything, but I really do question the legitimacy of those claims that
a little
whoever
bit.
the hell
Yeah.
made that. Like, I get it was from an interview in a book, but I still question it. Like,
because wasn't like Darth Maul and Darth Talon, weren't they going to be like villains?
Yeah,
in that?
but-
No, come on.
But really, what irks me is Leia was the chosen one, but Lucas spent years saying no, Anakin's the chosen one.
Yeah.
Oh, but in his scripts, Leia is the chosen one. Like, what?
Damn, dude, you're really cutting out.
It's these damn headphones.
Well, I mean, if you mute If you mute the stream, it won't be a problem.
I did. The stream is
muted?
muted.
Because hang on, don't speak for a second. I don't hear like any echo coming from your end. So, I mean, as long as your stream is muted, there shouldn't be any kind of echo. You should be fine.
Yeah, the stream. I have it playing in the background just in case I want to type something in chat. But
Brian says your audio sounds good to them, but like I don't know, you've just been cutting in and out for me. Maybe it's my internet.
kind of like Alex from last night.
Yeah, a lot like Alex.
Oh dang,
Man,
Well, I
all
took
my
the
homies
headphones
hate
out.
Alex.
Alex, we hate you, bro. I'm
Alex-
better. I'm superior to you now.
Yeah. He's on a Sheev Talk stream. What have you done with your life?
I've been on a Matt Wilkins stream, Sheev Talk stream.
Woo!
It's
I've been
Chris-
on a Star Wars EU stream. Hell yeah. We're really moving up.
Chris Nelson was on one of my streams.
Oh, that's cool.
I love Chris Nelson, bro. I love him. I wish
I
you did EU reviews. I'd love to see what his opinions are on the EU. Maybe not the whole thing like Matt, but like different novels or whatever.
Yeah. Well, actually, what kind of videos does he make? Because I only just recently learned of him through you guys.
He celebrates the EU. He loves the EU. I mean, he's a completist like Matt, but he doesn't really review the books. He reviews he collects the merchandise and the marketing and stuff like that surrounding the EU. So like, bookmarks or posters or things like that. Clothes. I don't know if he's done any clothes, but things like that. Marketing stuff, merchandise, things like that. So, and he posts most days. I don't watch all of his videos, but I've watched a lot of. I mean, he just makes a lot of good stuff, a lot of unique EU stuff that a lot of people don't, talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example,
Lance. Sorry, go ahead.
like I mean, he made a video today with like a Clone Wars micro series, like a 3D poster that they came out with, or I don't know. A few days ago, he did a video on like You remember the Invincible novel?
Yeah.
Legacy of the Force. There's a poster out there that he reviewed. All kinds of cool stuff that I've never heard of. Even Matt Wilkins hasn't heard of a lot of this stuff that Chris talks about.
Yeah.
But Chris, he used to run the expandinguniverse.com, the website. He created that website and he ran it.
Can we get back to Star Wars? We're talking about Star Wars.
We're just talking about Star Wars you guys don't know about because you guys like new canon. So,
oh, hey, don't throw all my guys in the gutter. Most of these guys are probably cool.
I'm sure they are, but we can talk about what the hell we want.
Yeah.
Anyway, Chris, he ran expandinguniverse.com. I don't know if he created the billboard idea, but I don't think he did. I think that was Brian Borg from Twin Suns. I know Twin Suns funded it, but what else did he do? He actually co-created A More Civilized Age on Matt's channel.
Oh yeah.
The podcast. He doesn't really run the podcast anymore, but he's kind of left it. And he doesn't run the Expanders.com anymore. But someone asked Lance's opinion on Rey.
Yeah, pull that up.
I don't know. She had a lot of potential, but I liked her in TLJ for the most part. I liked her in Force Awakens. I didn't like her in the other movie, Rise of Skywalker, what the hell it's called. I don't know. She had a lot of potential, but J.J. Abrams. So
here's a great question: is Maul brought back in the old EU like he was in the Clone Wars?
Yes,
he was. Yeah, in was it Star Wars Tales?
Yeah, but see, I don't know. I don't remember if that one was canon or not. Because Tales,
I believe it was considered canon.
Wasn't it just a hologram though?
No, it
was.
was.
No, it was from his brain.
No, I'm not talking. I'm not talking about that. You're thinking of when he came at, like it was his brain and Luke encountered him.
Yeah,
I'm talking about when he fought Vader, like the prophets of the dark side resurrected him and he fought Vader. That did happen technically. Also, much closer to his eventual return in the Clone Wars, there was a comic called Old Wounds, which is not canon to the EU, but he essentially like finds Obi-Wan while he's in exile on Tatooine and confronts him while at the Lars homestead. It's a lot like his their reunion in Rebels, which is actually Rebels references it actually because if you'll remember, Obi-Wan says, "I will mend this old wound." That's what it's referring to as that comic. He has like the mechanical legs and the long horns like in the Clone Wars. Owen fucking shoots him with a shotgun. It's really funny. Oh,
Man,
there's a continuity out there where Owen Lars kills Darth Maul. And I just feel like more people should know about that.
It's interesting because after Filoni's Clone Wars, well, I mean, I guess to answer the question a little bit more directly, though, the fact that he was brought back in the Clone Wars means he was brought back in the EU because the Clone Wars was part of the EU's continuity.
Yeah.
Much as we hate that, it was in the same continuity as
I know.
technically.
Mm.
But after Filoni's Clone Wars, that actually Old Wounds could be canon. After Filoni's
I don't know necessarily because Maul makes references to like about how he was like following Obi-Wan throughout the prequels, like he was just days behind on Geonosis and stuff like that. And it's like, well, no, that can't be canon to the Clone Wars EU because he was on Loco Minor until season 4.
Guess you could kind of retcon it, maybe in his Force vision. Maybe he had Force visions where he was following. I don't know.
Maybe
there's a lot more possibility of it actually being. It was not canon to EU. It never is, never was, never will be. But it could be headcanon as that. If that's what you want to do.
If you got like the abridged synopsis, you could say, yeah, maybe that happened. But like the specifics don't really line up. But then again, the same can be said for the Clone Wars TV series as a whole when fitting it into the EU. As for what you said, though, I guess, yes, I know technically Clone Wars is EU. And I will say that while I don't like that, there are some pretty good comics with Darth Maul that are subsequent, like supplementary material for the Clone Wars show that I like a lot. Like, Darth Maul Death Sentence, Sith Hunters, some good comics. There really are.
There's a comment I want to respond to. It's by Slav. He said technically it's George's Clone Wars. I'm gonna get all of this guy. I'm sorry, Slav, but George came up with the idea, yes, but George does not have a single writing credit in that show. Not one time does he have a writing credit. And as far as we know, according to the featurettes for Filoni's Clone Wars, George only approved stuff. He gave ideas, but it was never guaranteed that those ideas were used. For example, George did not like, I'm actually quoting a lot of Matt Wilkins stuff here, but George did not like the whole Plo Koon surviving in space with a mask. He didn't like that. But Filoni thought it'd be fine, so he put it in there anyway. So Filoni was the actual showrunner for that show. George was more of a creative consultant, if anything. He was more like a director at a restaurant, if that makes sense. You know how like you have your managers, but then you have the higher up. He oversees the restaurant, but he's not directly involved with it. He's not there every night like a man. If that makes sense. That's kind of like how he was. He was there. He approved everything, but he wasn't actually writing the scripts. And
he was the idea man.
Filoni was not only given lead animator credit. He was the showrunner of the thing. So he was not even an animator on that show. So he's not an animator. He's a writer. He's a director. He's a storyteller. He's not an animator.
Now, Katie Lucas, his daughter, did actually write some, but she's not George Lucas, so
right.
The point still stands.
I
just felt like bringing that up because I know someone's going to say it. They're going to say that like validates the stance that this was George's Clone Wars, and it's like his daughter wrote some episodes. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
I wouldn't credit like Bryce Dallas Howard for Solo because her father wrote that.
Yeah, and there's a quote, I don't remember where it's from, but George does say that he was actually asked, when the Clone Wars film came out in 2008, he was asked, is this your 7th film? And George said, no, it's separate from the movies. That's why it's T canon, not G canon.
Yeah.
So, because the films were, God, and everything else was like angels, if you want. I don't know. That's a weird analogy, but
I've always hated T canon. It's stupid.
yeah, but, that's George. I mean, technically it's Chi, actually, but no, it wasn't George's Clone Wars. And another person said that season 6 of the Clone Wars was just new canon. No, it's not.
No, it's considered EU. Yeah.
It's season 7 that's just new canon.
Yeah. Because season 6 came out in what was it, 2013 or 2014? I can never remember.
I think it had to have been 2013. It was before the decanonization.
But either way, yeah, it was before April of 2014, which means it has to be EU. Unless it was like an Infinities or something like that, which it wasn't.
And if it came out after, I don't remember exactly, but if it came out after the reboot, then, well, that doesn't really mean anything because there's a lot of stuff that came out after the reboot that's not new canon. Like, for example, there was a Han Solo comic that came out shortly after the reboot. There was a couple comics that came out after the reboot, and they're still just EU because it was written for the EU. It was written before the reboot happened.
Right. So this is what I was thinking. Brian says season 6 came out March 2014. New canon started April 2014. So still, yeah, before the wiping of the EU.
Someone asked, can I ask where Leland has been? I missed the guy. He's shilling for Disney Star Wars because he gets that fat paycheck. Sorry, but
yeah, well, I'm sad to hear that. I always respected Leland Shee.
I respected all of his work too, but I mean, he's kind of betrayed us. So, and it's sad, but
he pulled a Pablo Hidalgo. Is that what's happening now?
I wouldn't say that. He's not vulgar. I wouldn't say he's vulgar. It's just, I don't know. He just doesn't stick up for us like he used to.
It sucks.
Kind of just doesn't care about us. Oops. If it's approved by George, then isn't it technically his? Not necessarily.
No. The EU was approved by George.
George had to approve EU novels as well. He was also with Eddie. Yeah, but I guess you could say it's all his. I mean, he was the owner. I mean, but when I say Filoni's Clone Wars, I'm saying that because he was the one writing it. And if it wasn't him, it was one of his writers that he was the showrunner of the thing. So that's why
you wouldn't say like Kathleen Kennedy made The Force Awakens. You would say J.J. Abrams made The Force Awakens.
That's his movie.
She had like overall control of it. Like if she didn't like something that he did, she could have told him, yeah, you can't do that. And then he wouldn't have been able to do that. But that's still a J.J. Abrams film.
Right.
Yeah, George Lucas also took things from other writers and contradicted their stories. That he did. Fucking contradicted Boba Fett's original backstory, but that worked out in the end. And see, and Lance, to kind of go back to what we were talking about earlier about how the films need to stand on their own, but the EU is good for like retconning contradictions. That's where I would say it works because there's nothing in the films that tells us, that Boba used to be Jaster Muriel. Right, so that's a contradiction, yes, but one that the EU can handle, and it's not necessarily a knock on Attack of the Clones as far as its overall quality as a story.
Yeah. Also, if you guys haven't read the original short story, Tales of the Bounty Hunters, go read it. It is better than probably a lot of the EU novels. I mean, it's excellent. I love that short story. I love it. And if you guys want you want to read some real Boba Fett stories, start there.
Yep.
And that's just a short story, and it's better than practically all of Disney Star Wars, in my opinion.
There's a lot of great Boba Fett stories from the EU that I could recommend. Bounty Hunter Wars, which, despite what Alex will tell you, is great.
Yeah, it's really good. I love that. I love that series.
Boba Fett Blood Ties, very good stuff. I'd also recommend Jango Fett Open Seasons, although Boba's not a character in those because he hasn't been born yet.
Yeah, Jango Fett Open Seasons. It's a really good if you like Mandalorians, you'll love that series.
Oh yeah.
And if you want to know more about Jango, you'll love that. you'll obviously love that as well. Oh,
Yeah.
I know. I did I tell you? I think I know. I'm pretty sure I did, but I got the paperback for that. I'm pretty sure I told you. Like the original
Yeah?
trade paperback. Yeah.
Yeah. You were flexing that on me. I had to buy the
Yeah.
whole omnibus just to get those for a reasonable price.
And it's actually, and I'm gonna show you it on camera here.
Okay.
Y'all can see my face, but it's in excellent condition too. I mean, it's
So,
cool.
how did you get that for so cheap? I don't
I
understand.
don't know. I just searched and I found it. I mean, it's excellent condition. I mean, there's like, I mean, it's
Guys, when I tell you the like a trade paperback for those, or even just the single issues alone, they're expensive out the ass. Like, I couldn't find any trade that was cheaper than like 150. I had to buy a omnibus, which has that as well as some other stories that are like $40, but infinitely better than spending 3 times that for just the trade paperback.
there's one thing that there's I think when it was getting printed, like the ink messed up in like one small spot. I gotta find it. It's kind of annoying. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was maybe if it got too hot. I don't know what happened. Like, well, because I obviously ordered this online, but like, see some of the black ink here? I don't know if you can see it. Oh, I hate this mirror. It's like right here. Like that little black square came from that white square. Right. Man, this is so hard to do. So I don't know if you can see that. But
Yeah, I can see it.
It's really, that's the only thing that's bad about this, but everything else is excellent quality. I mean, it's like it's almost brand new.
I'm so envious.
I'm sorry, Sheev. But I've already read this. I read it. I pirated the thing, but I always wanted it in print. And then there's this really cool picture of Django and Boba at the end.
Oh, that's nice. I've seen that picture like 80,000 times, but it's
Well,
nice.
yeah, but I think it's cool.
All right. Now, unfortunately, you are in the can opener again, but that might just iron itself out.
I think it's just you.
Could be, because I guess they're not having any problems with it, and you're clear again. I don't have the best internet, so that might be it.
I mean, I actually don't have bad internet. I have really good internet. Flex some.
Let's see. Thoughts on some of the earliest EU stories, original trilogy novelizations, Marvel Comics from the 70s, Splinter of the Mind's Eye, etc. Like them a lot. Yeah. I've read a lot of the Marvel comics. I've read the OT novelizations. Very good. I have not read Splinter. Kind of been told that it's not really all that great, but I don't know. I have also not read the original Han or Lando trilogies, but I've heard great things and I can't wait.
Best part about those books is they were 100% canon to the EU. So, in case you didn't know that, which I think you did.
Anyway, yeah, let's see.
Alex is having a debate with someone.
Is Alex having? I think so, yeah. It's funny. Let's see. Luke and Leia are passionately romantic in Splinter. So I've heard.
Well, they still didn't know that they were related, so whatever.
You
Obviously,
know
it's weird.
That's fine. It's weird, but it's like understandable that they made such a mistake. You know, we've all locked lips with our sister unknowingly. It's okay.
I think maybe Lucas did. George Lucas. I feel like he did that.
He's like, I'm going to project this onto this character.
Yeah,
if I have to feel this pain, then so do you, Luke.
He used it to cope with his trauma. Sorry, George. Imagine if George was watching this, bro. Like, oh my gosh.
Oh my god, if George Lucas would, he wouldn't. I mean, come on, he's not gonna waste his time on that. But man, I would.
Does in his day-to-day life now.
I would invite him on.
We all would.
Oh yeah.
I just wonder what he does in his free time. He doesn't have social media, as far as we know. He doesn't. I don't know. He just sits at home and
Probably just, I
chills.
don't know, sits at home, watches reality TV. That sounds like something he'd be into, honestly. Ugh.
He's probably reading a book. That's probably what he's doing.
Reading a book or watching. Yeah, I mean, he loves movies. Obviously, he took a lot
Reading
of inspiration
comic book?
from a lot of cinema. How he loves comics. Yeah, I'm sure he keeps busy however he can. I wish I had his kind of time though, man. Like I would do that all day if I could.
He's enjoying his retirement, man.
Yeah.
Strax asks, "What time is it for some of y'all?" 10:30 right now.
Same. Yeah. Alex over here on the East Coast, or I'm forget the West Coast. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm stupid. It's all right. That's how it is. Wonder what time it is in Australia right now.
It's time for them to open their country up.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that is one of the things he does in his free time.
His wife is like 40 years younger than what he is, so
Yeah. Let's
Either
not get
she's
into that.
either she's just into old men or she's just in it for the money. So
Hey, let's not accuse George Lucas's wife of being a gold digger. That's bad faith.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's 1:34 p.m. Tomorrow in Australia. So that's cool. According to Brian anyway, and he's a trusted source.
George is based, dude. George is very based. So most of the time. Sometimes he's not based at all. Like apparently fucking making Leia the Chosen One.
Like apparently making Darth Maul and Darth Talon the bad guys in the sequel trilogy. That would be so dumb. That would somehow make the sequels like good by comparison almost. Huh. I know you ain't saying she's a gold digger. I'm saying Lance is saying she's a gold digger.
I don't know. She may be. I'm not saying she is. I don't know. I don't even know her name. I always forget.
Yeah, I don't know who she is, to be honest. You could have told me George Lucas didn't have a wife, and I'd be like, cool. I don't know. I don't care.
I just someone said the only EU book I've read is Heir to the Empire. How do you guys feel about it? That's awesome. If you've just started reading the EU, man, you're lucky. Enjoy it. Because it will fly by.
Well, eventually you're going to realize you don't really have time to read books anymore, and then it's just like,
Or that.
I still haven't read anything past Dark Journey as far as New Jedi Order is concerned.
Dark Journey is really good. Like it's a lot of people hate it. It's excellent. I don't care.
It's like it's such a abrupt stop in momentum after Star by Star. Honestly, I
love it. I love Kip and Jaina. I love their relationship. They're
honestly
it's like a father-daughter sort of. It's more
I get like older brother, younger sister kind of vibes from them. Yeah.
I think that'd probably be a lot better. Not father-daughter. Brother sister. That's a lot better.
Lance, I have to know, and you probably know the answer to this. Are there people out there who ship them?
Yes.
Of course there are.
And it's weird as hell.
That's so weird. He's like way older than her.
I know. When he was 18, she was like 2.
Jesus.
So, obviously, he's like almost 40 years old by the time the New Jedi Order comes around. Maybe not 40, but he's at least mid-30s. Jaina's like 17, 18. She's like my age in Dark Journey. So
that's gross.
Bunch of weirdos out there. Usually I usually have unpopular opinions, but Jaina and Jagged, they are better. I think they're better together than Jaina and Zach. I love Jaina and Zach. I thought they were a great couple, but I think Jaina fits a lot better with Jagged. Sorry, Zach.
Yes, I am missing out on the best New Jedi Order books. I will get there eventually. It's just gonna take some time. Okay.
Man, you've got Enemy Lines coming up. Traitor, you're gonna love Traitor. Destiny's Way is really good. I mean, they're all really good. You know me.
Yeah.
Final Prophecy, that's Greg Keyes, so automatically it's awesome. Unifying Force is really good though.
Sorry.
It's not much to look at, so I'm just kidding, Sheev.
Yeah.
You're beautiful.
No. You're right. You're right.
We're
Also,
all beautiful.
I still have that lighting problem, as you can see. So I don't want to have my camera on.
I know what that's like, 'cause I have my desk over here, and I've had it's like my desk. There's part of it's facing this way, and then I have another part of it. It's like an L shape.
Yeah.
So, but this side of it, it's lower than this part of the desk, if that makes sense. So
It's already
oh, that
bad
sound.
enough. 'Cause in
Someone
the
clip that
EU
sound.
In the EU, they're like 10 years apart, and I'm already like, okay, that's a little all right. But in canon, it's much worse. And I mean, if you've seen my Kenobi video, I did like a little side by side of Han and Solo and Leia and Kenobi, which take place a year apart from each other, just to give a good frame of reference for just how big their age gap is. Ugh, it's gross. She's missing like a lot of her baby teeth, and he's Alden Ehrenreich already.
I wouldn't say it's gross. It's just, obviously,
it's gross.
but okay, but it's not like she was underage when she met Han.
They were consenting adults.
They really got together in Empire. Leia was in her early 20s. Han was 30s, mid 30s.
Lance, if the girl
older, I don't know.
Lance, if the girl that you end up marrying, is like the same age difference to you as Han and Leia, then right now she's what, 4? That's gross. It's weird.
I don't know. Obviously, it's weird. Yes, if I were to freaking be into a 4-year-old, yes, it's really weird. I don't know.
Slav wants to know your Twitter handle, bro.
What's my Twitter? It's in my name tag.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing as
Here, I'll just put it in the chat.
Yeah, go ahead. Whew.
And I pronounce that. People ask me how, like, people have said the swooteen, the SW. Just, I always, when I read it, I read the Star Wars EU team. That's how I read it.
You know, you really do want to go with maybe a different name, though, to be honest.
What else am I going to say? That's what's unique about me is I'm a teenager who likes the EU.
I don't know, but I mean, that's kind of a mouthful, and it's hard to. I don't remember how to spell it. I only know because I'm seeing it in the chat. This is it for everyone who wants to. Yeah,
I don't know, but it's kind of stuck already. It's like, stuck.
Okay, you say that, but here's the thing:
it can't be changed.
When I started Sheev Talks, do you know what it was called? Because it's not Sheev Talks.
What was it? I
called it 501st Legion, all one word. 1227. 1227 because my birthday is December 27th.
That's not even close to what my name is. My name is simple.
It was a mouthful. It was a mouthful. It's hard to spell. Nobody could find it. And I had like 200 subscribers at the time that I changed it. So like that entire time I was like, no, it's stuck. That's what I'm known as now. I can't change it. But I mean, I did obviously, and nobody knows me from that anymore. So I'm Sheev Talks.
How about this? If people in the chat, what should I change my name to? Has to be related to the EU, and I'm not calling it Legends. Don't even say that. I'm not calling it Legends at all. It has to be EU, and the fact that I'm a teenager. What would y'all call it? If it's good, I'll change it.
You know what? I don't have any ideas. All I'm saying is you should change it. What
am I going to change it to?
I don't know.
Legends team, bro. Screw you. I hate you, Brian. You suck, bro. Legends, Star Wars EU, Chad. People, y'all be calling me Chad a lot, so either Chad or Based or EU man. Legends, Filoni, Stan team. You know what? I might change that. That's a good April Fool's prank.
Ahsoka's homeboy. Yes, these are all great ideas.
Someone said Kyle Katarn. I'm blocked by him on Twitter.
Is it wrong to ship Anakin and Ahsoka, even though the age difference is not that bad? Yes.
Yes. Ahsoka's like 13.
Even if they were both adults at the time, it's like they have such a weird brother-sister relationship. Like, don't do that. Plus, again, like you said with Han and Leia, it's like they were both adults when they met, right?
Adolescent fan of old canon Star Wars. Talk about a mouthful. Also, I understood that reference. Adult fan of Lego. That's where he got that from. Or maybe not. I don't know.
You probably didn't get that. I don't know.
Adolescent fan of. I don't know. Remind me of it.
Why does it
David-
have to be in your name that you're a teenager?
Because I'm a teenager?
Okay, well, what happens when you turn 20?
That I'm no longer a teenager. I was honestly.
You got to
thinking
take teen out of your name.
I don't have to. I could just keep it just for the shits and giggles.
No,
Just as a
your
memory.
your name has to be completely accurate to who you are. I am Emperor Palpatine.
Is your
This
name
isn't a
Sheev?
joke.
Is
My
your name
name
Sheev?
is Sheev. It's legally Sheev.
No, it's not. You wish.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
My mom's in this chat. She can verify. See, unlike you, Lance, I'm
So,
cool and I
did you
let my
just
mom
change
watch
your
my
name
streams.
to Sheev?
Yes, legally. It's on my birth certificate as of now.
Bruh. That's like
This
me
is-
going. That's like me renaming myself to Kip Duron or Anakin Solo.
Sir Lance. Sir Lancelot that hates Filoni. Yes, perfect.
43-year-old Lance still going to this Star Wars E team. Ray, I'm not doing this.
You're gonna be like, you're gonna be doing this until you're like Matt Wilkins' age, and you're still gonna go by the Star Wars EU team.
I mean, Matt has been making YouTube videos, or at least Star Wars YouTube videos, for like almost a decade now. So
Yes, Sheev is a Disney canon name, although there's nothing in the EU that says his name isn't Sheev. They don't ever give him a first name, so I headcanon it that his name is Sheev. It's a funny name. I don't know. That's the only reason I
Sheev.
chose it. When I changed my name to Sheep Talks, the only reason I chose it was because it's a funny name. Sheev. Imagine making one of the coolest cinema villains of all time, one of the creepiest and the most like mustache twirly villains in all of filmmaking, and then just naming him Sheev.
technically, that's Lucas's. I don't know if it was Lucas, but it was. She was supposed to be for Underworld.
I know that James Lucino is the one who name dropped him in Tarkin, so I imagine that he probably like had talked to George about it. Sheev, the EU teen. I'm gonna steal your gimmick. I don't care if I'm in my 20s. I'm gonna be the EU teen that everyone knows.
Whoa. The Corsair Princess Leia had a book trailer?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Wait, Quality Autism posted it. It's probably a joke.
Probably. No, it's cool. I'll wait. Anyway, so Sheev the caveman. Lance, I muted you because you're watching a video instead of participating.
I was watching the Corsair Princess Leia.
Yeah, you know what? You can do that on your own time. We're having a talk. We're doing the
Shut
we're
up!
doing
This
the
is
Steve
my
talk.
time.
I can still kick you.
I know. I was kind of hoping you would, but don't do it. Don't do it.
I hold all the cards, and also we probably do want to wrap this up in about 20 minutes max. I'm getting tired.
Look at Ethan Yang's name or his comment. Is he talking about me?
Why do you use an old man? He might be talking about me. I mean, obviously that's Palpatine, but
The guy
Sheev.
that's on my picture, that's my dad, my real life dad.
Oh, very nice.
Yes, Matt Wilkins is my father.
Matt Wilkins is a Chad. Yeah, that old man is actually, believe it or not, meant to be Sheev.
Sheev, the cream man.
Creamy Sheev.
All right, none of y'all's names are good. Y'all suck at this.
Well, I don't know. Just all I'm saying is your handle's a mouthful. So I would go with something else. But it's your prerogative. No one can tell you what to make your channel name. Which is funnier, Sheev or Sneed?
Someone said, "Why do you look older than your dad, Lance?" Bro,
Sheev. Alex says you're his brother. Can you confirm?
Absolutely not.
Oh,
That's like a hell no.
okay.
I have a
well.
video exposing Matt as my dad. Well, you are going to live with him, right? I don't know.
And that-
I remember hearing something about that. So.
Matt was saying something like that in yesterday's stream. I thought he was just joking.
Nah, it's kind of been. I've been hearing that for a long time now. Alex, you're gonna go move in with Matt? That's pretty weird, bro.
Yeah, it's really weird. What are you, his son?
He should rename
His channel 501st Legion 1. That's what it was. See what
how
I was
old were
working with?
you- How old were you when you made your channel and named it that?
16.
Boy, I'm 17. I would never name my channel that.
I disavow. I've never met this man before in my life.
Who is Brian? Who is this guy?
That's my brother.
Oh, that's your brother?
Yeah, like no shit. He's my brother.
So your last name is Mills?
No.
Sheev Mills?
talked. Wasn't Tarkin Heir to the Jedi supposed to be in the EU? It was.
Yeah,
I know
but
Heir
it's
to the
not.
Jedi was. I didn't know that Tarkin was.
Yeah, Tarkin was supposed to be EU, but it was only supposed to be EU because it was a contract thing. So, but once it was announced that it'd be a new canon book, he changed things in it. So then
I wasn't aware of that because I know he's referential to a lot of things that were EU. Like it straight up references Plagueis, right? Which I know he was in the movie, but like, he's referenced in like he references the novel specifically. I think
he may
Sheev Mills.
Sheev Mills. That's your name, bro.
You know, it works too because technically milling is a verb as well as a noun.
Tarkin was supposed to be a sequel to Plagueis.
When Sheev's not talking, he's milling. Was Tarkin meant to be a sequel to Plagueis? I know they were written by the same person, obviously, but you know, I wouldn't I wouldn't call Labyrinth of Evil a sequel to Plagueis any more than I would call Tarkin a sequel to Plagueis.
I don't know. I've never read Tarkin. I have no interest in reading Tarkin, so
It's pretty boring, I'll be honest. I've tried it. I've tried to get into it so many times. Anyway, I think I'm going to call it here. It's been a good stream, y'all.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you, Stream Chat, for helping me prank Sheev. That was fucking hilarious.
Man, fuck you. That was bullshit.
You fell for it. That was the
Piece of
funniest
shit.
part.
I'm over here like, what the fuck? And then fuck all of you.
I was trying so hard not to laugh.
You're all officially not invited to my wedding.
Oh, that was funny. That was a good.
All right.
That was a good joke.
All right, bye, guys. Love you. I'm kicking Lance now. Fuck you, Lance. Bye, guys.